The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is currently hiring experienced and entry-level HVAC technicians. Apply today at standardheating.com.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93.
I'm not balding symmetrically. Because, like, if I don't shave the front of my head, I got a little bit of hair that grows here, and as we can all tell, nothing in the middle at all. And then other dudes, and I see a few of you in the audience, yeah, you just shave your head. You're like, I'm done with you too. I don't need it. More face to go around. What's up?
And I don't deserve this.
Bald asshole?
Sir, I'm bald. I'm not offended.
Well, with all due respect, Officer Burt, you are not bald, okay? You have chosen to shave your hair. That's a look that you're cultivating to be fashionable, and we don't really consider you part of the bald community, with all due respect.
Well, guess what? Your hair is stupid.
Never make fun of another person's hair.
Hey, Mr. T.
And for your information, it's not even a haircut. It's a rare form of male pattern baldness. You fools!
You're bald!
No, I'm not. I was bald.
Okay, turn your radio up.
Hi, y'all. It's showtime.
Ah, dang. Right from the get-go here, I dropped my pen.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
You're trying to do a drumstick flip on it.
I was. Here we go with the Thursday edition of the 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. You know, as I was on my way into work this morning, there were still a few drunken Twins fans out on the street with their brand new Royce Lewis jerseys on. And, the tag still hanging off the collar. And they're screaming up and down about how we're going all the way, they kept saying. We're going all the way.
God, that was fun.
Yeah, the local news interviewed a lot of drunkards.
Oh, I bet.
A lot of people crying.
Yep.
We're going to play a clip later from Channel 9 after Tuesday's game.
After game one, Tuesday, Jim Rich got dry humped.
That's exactly the clip.
Yeah. He looked pretty happy, though.
Yeah,
he looked happy about it.
He took it very well. He was
happy...
also holding up one of the drunkards so that guy didn't fall over.
He's a pro. He's a happy guy, Jim Rich. I had a couple opportunities to hang out with that guy years ago, and he's a real super guy. He looked like he was having a good time. I'm looking forward to that.
He was pumped.
It was pretty cool to see everybody come unglued at the ballpark yesterday. The Twins have moved on to the divisional round of the American League playoffs. Moving on to play the Houston effing Astros, Cubby.
Last night I had to be somewhere, so the last 3 innings I listened on the radio. And I'm glad I did because the radio call at the end of the game was great. We're going to play that later on this morning as well.
Oh, I can't wait.
Outstanding.
From our intro, George on Seinfeld said he was bald, and our own Dana's going to be able to say that soon enough.
I am, yeah. I'm going in today to the Hair Restoration Institute of Minnesota, and they're gonna tack some hair back up on top for me.
There's a part of me that hopes it looks awful.
Oh, yeah.
And that part is virtually 100% of me wants it to look really, really bad.
It just grows in weird as heck. Just different patches everywhere.
Yeah, I kind of want this to end up weird. But this is a really interesting morning on our program. At least right here from the get-go. We got to let Dana out of here shortly. He's got to go, and he ain't coming back till tomorrow.
No, yeah, it's an all-day procedure. It's a one-day procedure, which I like. It's not like they make you come in, once a week for a few weeks. It's an all-day thing, and
that is crazy.
They get it done.
That's just, and you don't have to go back for any maintenance or anything like that.
Not that I know of. No, I can go in and check in with them and stuff at any time. They say if I have questions, but it's a one-day thing, and then they check in with me, I believe, and see how the progress is going. Because it's not like I'm going to come in tomorrow like a chia pet with a full head. It takes a while for it all to kind of start regrowing in the spots where it's dumped out.
So we're coming up on 25 years as a morning show here, and I was trying to think if anybody else has taken a half day for something so vain.
No.
I think you've really nailed it. You set the precedent.
I feel so stupid, too, because this is one of those things where we make fun of the radio douches. I have worked with people that would take time off for some type of cosmetic procedure that's unrelated to the radio station, because this is an endorsement with the station. This would be something they would do because they're such divas. But so I do feel ridiculous having to leave the show, but I am very excited about it.
You got to check in at the hair restoration joint, and they got to start plucking from your ass and planting up on your skull.
Exactly, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wait, what part of your body would be the most hairy that they could take?
For the chest.
Your chest?
Yeah, Especially because I regularly shave my back. It probably would be the back, too, though.
How do you who shaves your back? You don't shave your own back.
No, my girlfriend Ashley shaved my back once.
God,
what? Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, she shaved my back on the air.
Wow. I have no memories of that. What, with a razor and shaving cream?
Was that one of the what would Ashley do for $100 bits, or you just did it for fun?
I think I just did it for fun.
You guys,
I don't remember that at all.
Can you
really? Yeah,
Ashley?
Wow, that was a really long time ago.
Did we fool Ashley into thinking that we were on air for that?
She volunteered because we were talking about body hair, and I said, "Yeah, I have a lot of chest hair. I also have a lot of back hair." And you guys were like, "Well, let's take a look." Do you really? And I went into the studio you guys are in right now, and I pulled my shirt up, and you're both like, "Oh, dude!"
Yeah, it was gross.
I don't recall you shaving Dana's back on the radio.
You have to go up one size of T-shirt to cover that hair.
It must have been when he was single, obviously,
Yeah,
because he didn't have a girlfriend to help shave
Yeah, because my
his back.
ex-wife used to shave it for me, and then it got out of control, and that's when you guys saw it. And then Ashley was like, "I'll do it. I think it's soothing to do it," or something like that.
What did you do in the meantime? Like,
Just let it grow.
Oh, okay.
That's pretty gross, but I couldn't do that for somebody. But Dana, I don't remember Ashley shaving your back, but I do remember seeing you with your shirt off once or twice, and I've seen way, way, way worse. It's not that bad.
It's not terrible, but it's,
the hairiest part of your body you'd say is your back.
I've got
chest,
a buddy just like you where he could grow, if he shaves it, by the end of the week he needs to shave it again, both his chest and back. And we had neighboring apartments, and my girlfriend lived with me, and so she would shave his back as he would have his morning cereal, probably once a week. It was so bad.
Having cereal,
that's nice of her.
Yeah, it was real. I mean, it was impressive how much he could grow.
Here's a listener that says, this sounds like an ad for a hair restoration. Yeah, it sort of is.
Yeah. I mean, that's not why we're necessarily talking about it now. A dude's taking half a day off to get new hair. We think that's kind of funny.
He said it's an endorsement.
But yeah, he is doing an endorsement.
Weren't you listening?
I hope you come back with just like the most luscious hair ever in 6 months. Like it's just longer and thicker than my hair. And
I'm with Josh. I still hope it turns out to be a disaster.
Just one long patch of hair.
And it's just uncontrollable,
and your head bleeds constantly.
They said my scalp is gonna be pretty raw tomorrow.
I bet you're probably not gonna want to wear a hat.
They say you can't wear hats for a couple days.
Ooh,
yeah,
there you go.
I could not do that.
So I like this text quickly from Butcher's Hack Jesus. Going back, we took time off last week, and people had Nick got married, and people had conspiracy theories. Somebody said one of us must have gotten a DUI or something. That's why we had to take time off. Butcher's Hack Jesus says, so it's Dana who got the DUI. He's using the hair appointment as a cover-up for court today. I solved mystery.
You figured it out. Actually, people were texted in saying that there's folks posting your wedding photos online, Nick. Are you aware of this?
People are so scary.
I don't know.
How do people even get that?
Honestly, it terrifies me sometimes.
I'm not online, and I don't care what happens online, so have fun. But so Dana, you're going to be involved in our opening break, our opening conversation, and then you got to go.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to head on out to the...
All day long, laying in a chair.
Having a new
hairdo put up top.
They're going to give me some type of drugs to make me a little loopy to hopefully sleep it off a little bit. And
are you going to take the drugs?
Pass out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Before you weren't sure.
I wasn't sure, but I talked to people that did it, and they all said, yeah, definitely do it. Take the drugs. And that means I need to get it picked up then from the place. They won't let me drive home myself, which is smart.
Dry-aged ribeye Jesus wants to know, will the frosted tips be coming back once your new hair comes in?
No, I think I'm going to let those die in the year 2000.
If this really works, maybe I'll go next.
You should.
I shouldn't, though. I'm too old now. It doesn't matter. But you've heard Josh and I have this conversation before. We damn near got one of these hair restoration deals 20 years ago. And didn't work out. It fell through. The agreement between the company and the radio station fell through.
So it wasn't like something you guys opted not to do it?
No.
Okay.
No, I was all in. Josh, I don't know. I don't remember if you were all in or not, but I know I was.
Yeah, and, I would have done it, I think.
Well, we would have done it, but it fell apart, never thought about it again. Now I think it's kind of silly to be, I'm 52 years old now, who gives a rat's ass? But we were in our mid-20s, late 20s, in that neighborhood when we had an offer, and unfortunately it didn't work out. Boy, I wonder how that would have turned out if we would just look like morons or if we would be the two sexiest sumbitches in town.
I'm glad we didn't do it at that time. That was so long ago, 20-some years ago. And I think maybe the things we're hoping happened to Dana would have happened to us. Because you used to hear horror stories about it, and I don't hear those anymore.
The technology at the time when Josh and I were considering it, the technology was still pretty prehistoric. So maybe it would have turned out to be just horrible.
Yeah, it would have been bad. Oh. And then we would have been more angry with you.
If I came back.
Yours is perfect.
I come in looking like Fabio.
Yeah, now, you have nicer hair than Ashley.
Is this considered cosmetic surgery?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure what the exact definition is.
Well, maybe it isn't, because I was just reading about the most popular cosmetic surgeries for men, and I did not see hairdos listed. So maybe it's not considered a cosmetic surgery, because I believe if it was, that's got to be in the top options for men.
Definitely.
I bet it would be number one.
Absolutely.
By a landslide. Mm-hmm. But it is kind of surprising. You were telling us off air, Dana, a few people who have done it locally, and I was shocked. I thought I never would have guessed.
Oh, so you know who these people are? You know what they look like and such,
yeah.
Josh?
Yeah. So I don't know who's talking about it and who's, I know some people don't like to talk about it, but...
Do I also know these local personalities?
Yeah, you probably just don't remember because...
Would you write them down for me? Because then I want to be able to picture...
Yeah, I think...
So you're saying you know a couple folks here in town who have done it and they look great?
Yeah, they've done it from the same place. They did the same endorsement that
I'm
doing.
All right, cool. I'm fascinated because I like to believe I can tell fake from real hair.
Here's the one I think.
Is
he open about this or not?
Yeah, he is.
Maybe.
Oh, okay. Then you go ahead.
Yeah, Jason DeRusha from WCCO.
Okay,
I don't know who that is.
You know him.
I've heard the name.
TV anchor. Now he does afternoon radio for CCO.
I'd have to.
He's a good dude.
I'd have to see the
dude.
guy. Mm-hmm. I've heard the name. And maybe I shouldn't say fake hair and real hair. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just regrowing your own hair back.
Sure, fair enough. Maybe I should change that to the hair that you were born with, or the hair that you gained through a procedure. I think I can tell that. I like to believe I can. Here are the top cosmetic surgeries for men, in no particular order. Liposuction. You get a little fat sucked out of your belly, I think that's the route. That's what liposuction is.
I haven't heard about that much lately, though.
You haven't heard much about it?
Yeah, I feel like it used to come up a lot back in the 90s, but I don't hear about it. Maybe there's different procedures that they do now.
I don't know. I guess I still hear people do that.
I know a lady who got lipo-sucked and turned out quite nice.
So, I don't know. Again, it's been a long time since I've, heard people explain the exact procedure. I get it. They vacuum out the fat and stuff.
Yeah.
But I'd heard, if you put on weight again, it comes in weird.
Oh, I don't know.
Meaning like this, where they sucked it. And I don't know this for sure, so don't get mad at me if this is not the case. But I'm telling you what I've heard. That the fat shows up in places where the vacuum wasn't, right? So you have a thin patch where you should also have a fat patch.
I understand.
And so it kind of grows around it, like you got extra belly buttons or something.
I know a couple ladies who have been lipo-sucked, and you know what, Josh? I don't know for sure what happened if they put on some pounds after the procedure. Here's what else dudes are doing. Well, nowadays, men and women up and down, everyone's having their this fixed and their that fixed. It's maybe 15 years ago, it would be shocking to read any list of men's cosmetic surgeries. Nowadays, men, women, pretty equally down the board, getting all kinds of things done. Men also go for the nose job, rhinoplasty. I remember when I was in 7th grade, so this is 1983, a gal in my 7th grade class went off and got a nose job, and that was just a massive story.
7th grade?
I bet.
Did she have problems breathing, or?
That I don't remember.
Wow.
She had a hell of a schnoz hanging off of her noggin, I'll tell you that. But I'm just saying that in 1983, the only people who were having these kinds of things done were celebrities, and they certainly weren't 13 years old. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We compared her to Mike Jackson because, Mike Jackson had all those nose jobs. It was a big thing for a 13-year-old kid.
My nose is a little askew.
Well, mine's all crooked as a sumbitch, too.
We had a girl, she was a senior when I was a junior. She got a boob job. Her dad bought her new boobs for her birthday or something like that.
Her dad did.
Yeah, I know. And this was a Catholic school. It was quite scandalous.
Lots has changed. Men are also going in to get eyelid surgery.
I would never even think of something like that.
What would that even do?
I think I have some information in here, Wapple, if it's really bothering you that much.
Botox is very popular. My wife's done it a few times. I can't tell the difference at all.
Oh, I can.
See,
my girlfriend injects it for Uplift Aesthetics, which we actually endorse for them. They endorse on our radio station. She does it all the time.
Does she really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, she just did it yesterday, and it's insane. They're always.
She did it to herself?
No, she obviously has to have someone inject it, but she also injects it.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. So as I sit here in the Chris Lindahl studios,
yes,
what you're telling me is your girlfriend does it and you can tell?
Yes.
So I can't. I've had other people say, I've heard other people say something to my wife like, "Oh yeah, that looks good" or whatever.
I've never been able to tell. I have a couple girlfriends that get it done, and maybe I'm just oblivious and I don't notice things, but
oblivious.
I've had them say like, "Oh yeah, like how does it look?" And I'm like, it looks fantastic," because I can't tell.
How many dudes get the Botox?
Like if
the guys get it too?
Yeah, they do. If you like squint a lot or like you can't really make an angry face, it like gets rid of wrinkles on your foreheads, and it's really it's like a procedure that you're supposed to get to like prolong it, so it stops the wrinkles coming in.
I'm okay with the wrinkles.
My two favorite words so far this morning, oblivious and foreheads, plural, with an S at the end.
There's actually a few articles going around recently about bone smashing. Did any of you guys see these?
I don't know what bone smashing is.
So, and this is like supposedly you never know how true some of these are, but a viral TikTok trend.
I like the sounds of bone smashing.
Yeah, it's not what you'd hope.
Oh.
It's not quite it, but it's where to get a stronger jawline, men are supposedly breaking the bones in their face, right? Like just micro fractures, hitting themselves in the face with a hammer.
What? Oh my God.
So your bone breaks a little bit, and it's supposed to come in, more dense and make your jawline more prominent.
Dude.
Grown men are at home with hammers breaking their own jaws?
Supposedly.
For what reason? So
a stronger jawline. When your jaw heals.
When it heals.
Supposedly it becomes more prominent.
Oh, my damn. Wapple, I couldn't find any more information on what were you wondering about? Eyelid surgery?
Eyelid lift or whatever. It doesn't matter.
Men are also having, everything. But, like I said, it's widespread now. But it's interesting to talk about some of these different procedures. None of these will be nearly as interesting as men breaking their own jaws with a hammer in the garage at home. But men are having gynecomastia, removal of breast tissue when you get the man boobs.
Mm-hmm. Oh, sure.
I'll be damned.
I've heard that's pretty popular.
I had not heard of that one yet. Ear shaping. If you don't like your ears stick out, your ears go this way, that way, they hang low, they wobble to and fro.
Some people get those like elf ear surgery.
Elf ear surgery.
Mm-hmm. So that their ears look like little elf ears. Makes them pointy.
Yeah, so they can look cute at the Renaissance Festival and whatnot, right?
It's permanent.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know. It's like the people who get vampire teeth. And, right. So you can scare people on Halloween. Chin and jaw implants. Men are signing up for that. The swag procedure. Has anyone heard it said that way? I had not.
No.
Mm-mm. Okay. But you've heard of this, you just haven't heard of that term. The swag procedure, non-surgical injectable filler that increases the width and girth of your penile shaft.
Now, that is a surgery, if it was safe and it worked well, and it's very common, I would be interested in doing something like that.
You would go ahead and have needles jammed into your tallywhacker to increase the girth and, what did I say, the width?
I've already had a needle in there for a medical procedure, and it wasn't as bad as I had thought.
I couldn't imagine.
And by the way, the needle was bigger, and that was embarrassing.
I wonder if that would be like a more of a medical procedure, or if it would be something like as easy as getting Botox. I would just go on in, and they're just like, all right, here we go, needle you up.
I would love to hear ads. Hey, it's Josh here for the Girth Enhancement Institute.
I do. I don't care.
I know you would. I think it would be great.
Online, they just got a picture of your dong.
Before and after.
These injections into your pecker, they increase the width and the girth. It lasts a couple of years. The improvements decrease over the course of a couple of years, but fellas can maintain that girthy appearance with supplemental injections. So on and off, you're going to the doctor and getting stabbed in the wang with a needle.
TMI, yesterday I noticed I had summer penis.
Oh, good for
Yeah,
you.
it was pretty cool. I hadn't experienced that yet this year.
Well,
and it wasn't even that warm of a day.
It was fairly cool. And
it was at the urinal here. I thought of taking a picture, but then I thought in these day and ages, it probably isn't a good idea. Supernatural Jesus said he broke a bone in his ankle pretty good, and it is now bigger. And the doctor told him it's caused by the body sending nutrients there to heal. So that was kind of the philosophy behind it. If you're just tuning in, supposedly there's a new viral TikTok trend where men are hitting themselves in the face to create fractures in their jaw bones to apparently have a stronger jawline.
What in the living hell is wrong with you? But I can think of a few people, Josh, where if they want their jaw broken, I'll do it for them. You know what I mean? You don't have to sit there at home with a hammer all alone. I'll come over and break your jaw for you.
I had that surgery once. Nope.
Oh, that's
God,
right.
that was
You
miserable.
did.
Oh, you had the Freddie Mercury overbite from hell, right? And they had to break your jaw for you?
Oh, yeah. Do you have any pictures from that?
No, I don't at all.
Messes me up.
Was that to make you look better, or was there like a reason to do it? Like maybe you...
It was like a reason, because it would hurt, like, down the line my jaw would hurt more, or I'd bite in weird places. I don't know.
Yeah, your jaw was all unaligned.
Like strangers? You just go up and bite
I
strangers?
was like in high school, so I barely knew what was going on. The dentist is like, "Oh boy, you're gonna have to have this surgery."
It would have created future problems.
Yeah. The reason I ask is because my stepdaughter's teeth were pretty messed up, right? And she was fine with it. She didn't really care. But the orthodontist had said, kind of like what you said, hey, if you let this go, you're gonna have some major issues growing up. So now they're perfect.
And the thing that sucked was
I don't have a boat because of it. Go on.
I had braces for like 3 or 4 years, so I'm like, was that all just a waste? Like I could have just got the surgery done, and
you got all that popcorn and beef jerky caught in your braces for no reason.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm like, God.
Millennial Steel Cutter Jesus wants to know if he hits himself in the penis and breaks it, does that mean it could be bigger? He wonders.
It'll get bigger, I bet, briefly.
Report back.
Yeah.
It'll be briefly swollen, yes.
Ask me about CrossFit, Jesus said the men breaking their jaws to look better is called doucheplasty.
Oh. You know what else dudes are going in for? Brow lift. If you want to reduce the signs of aging around the forehead... Wapple earlier described it as if there were two. There's just one on everybody.
8 head.
If you want to reduce the signs of aging around the forehead, you can go ahead and get a brow lift. It also helps you achieve a more taut, awake look. Awake or woke. Oh, I'm woke AF.
Yeah, you are.
I'm trying to get more wool.
A neck lift.
A neck?
Well, if you got like the chicken gizzard
I've seen that.
swinging around.
Yep.
Well, everyone's got a grandparent, right? with that.
No, I mean the actual surgery.
Oh, what do you mean you've seen the
like
surgery?
I know somebody has had it done.
They got the excess skin hanging down on their neck taken off.
Yep.
Significant difference?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Fat grafting. Ah! You take fat from one part of the body and redistribute it to other body parts. Well, this is what's behind Brazilian butt lifts and such, they say, Josh. That's fat grafting.
Yeah. Those can look good.
And then there's another...
I mean, from what I've seen online, from Miss Bum Bum and whatnot.
There's another fat procedure. I don't know if I'm saying this correctly. Buccal fat removal. Buccal, B-U-C-C-A-L. Buccal, maybe.
Oh, it's the fat in your cheeks, right?
That's exactly right.
That's becoming more popular.
Excess fat is taken out of the face. Your face.
Doesn't it scare you just seeing, like, look at Madonna, or look at some of these, look at Mickey Rourke.
Oh,
and no offense to these people, but I mean, the bad ones. I mean, there's a couple of folks locally I can think of that had obvious facial surgery, and it doesn't look good.
It really is. In some cases, it's a damn shame.
I'd rather just have the face fat and the wrinkles and stuff like that. Than risk looking like somebody who had bladlastic surgery.
Right. There was a time when we weren't so afraid to age.
Yeah, true.
Now it's, like I said, it's so widespread. Every damn buddy's signing up for something. I don't like my this. I don't like my that. Suck the fat out of here. Move this around to the... It's just that's how we operate now.
I mean, I guess if you're miserable and it's affecting your life,
sure.
It helps out your mental health.
Absolutely.
I think for some people, that definitely turns into a slippery slope. They do one thing and then they just can't stop. I saw a picture of somebody who I know really well, haven't seen him in a while, and I didn't recognize them because of how much work.
Did it look good or bad?
It looked very fake.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was just kind of like, oh no.
So there you go. This is the last you'll be hearing of Dana this morning because he's heading off to the hair restoration center of the universe, and he's going to come back a whole new man.
Extra sexy tomorrow.
We'll be able to see the results tomorrow.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. No,
I was just being sarcastic. It takes a few months for it to start regrowing. But
I'm sorry. I'm totally. I don't understand these things.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it takes a couple months, but yeah, they said that my scalp would be a little raw tomorrow. I can't wear a hat, and it'll be. But I'm very, very excited.
If we start drumming on the top of your head tomorrow like it's the Benny Hill show, is that going to be maybe bad for the end results?
Well, they say to not wear a hat, so I imagine if you take some drumsticks to the noggin, that's probably even worse.
Dude, I'll tell you. Well, not drumsticks. Do you know the Benny Hill show?
Oh, yeah. But
it would just be our bare hands, like a bongo drum. Josh, I'll give you $100 if you just whack Dana on top of the head tomorrow when he walks in.
I couldn't do something like that. Apparently, somebody's texting in here saying another procedure to get rid of fat. It's called a divorce.
Oh, no!
Maybe your ex-spouse was a little rotund.
I guess, or they could be talking about the breakup weight loss. That is one thing that
I did not take part in.
That is
You refused?
I thought your improvement.
But your ex did get implants right after you got divorced. Go ahead, Ashley.
The breakup weight loss. I think I know where you're going with this. What are you talking about?
Yeah, because girls usually lose weight when we go through a breakup. And it's usually the hottest you'll ever be. Like,
guys too, though.
I love it because I've seen a lot of tweets of it lately where a girl's like, I need to lose 10 pounds. Can some dude treat me like crap, please?
Exactly. Yeah, Josh is right. Dudes, it's maybe even more obvious.
I think, it's more obvious with guys. I mean, I mentioned before, I was like the divorced guy headquarters for a while. I've had several guys going through divorces live with me. And one thing they had in common is all of them got jacked. I mean, because they know I'm out now, right? I got to find another person. And so they were in the shape of their lives.
I heard a comic years ago say something along these lines where once you get into your 30s or 40s, dudes, when a buddy has recently become single because he gets a gym membership, a Jeep, and a goatee.
That's it.
So there you go. Good luck, Dana.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Nice knowing you.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
I don't think anyone's ever died from this procedure.
Yeah, I know, but there's always a hope.
Yeah. I'll be the case study.
And it's just half done, so your hair looks terrible. And we definitely want to have an awake. Yeah. We all want to see it.
Totally.
Oh, man. All right, we got to take a break. Good luck to Dana. We'll return here in a couple minutes on the Half-Ass Morning Show.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show.
Our experienced and certified technicians at Standard Heating have been trusted to keep our fellow Minnesotans comfortable and confident for over 90 years. We're ready to do the same for you, providing comfort you deserve since 1930.
And now is a great time to join their team. Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is currently hiring experienced and entry-level HVAC technicians dedicated to improving improving the work-life balance of their employees by providing benefits that include parental leave and 401k match. Apply today at standardheating.com.
Former Navy SEAL Mike Ritland keeps it real on the Mike Drop podcast.
He's the co-CEO of the All Secure Foundation, which assists special operations and active duty combat vets. Tom Satterley.
Nobody helped you shoot your gun. They trained you how to shoot your weapon. So we're going to train you on the things you've never been trained for, how to come home from war. Everything else that turns people away from it, we try to rebrand it.
Reduce or dismiss the kind of stigma that's associated with it.
You have to.
Mike Drop. Raw. Unfiltered. Intellectually sound. Wherever you listen.
Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Oh, God.
Oh, boy.
You got to pray for me, Cubby.
I'm saying some prayers.
I ran off to the bathroom, right? Because we had to play a song and some commercials. I had to hit the head, didn't I, Josh?
Yeah, you were in there for a little bit longer than I was comfortable with.
I didn't mean to. And I didn't even get my pants buckled. Because I knew I was running out of time. I didn't bring my phone with me to check the time.
Oh.
I'm having a terrible episode in there. And I came running all the way back here.
You feel better?
My pants are unbuttoned. No.
Oh.
Wapple was talking about some emergency songs. Were you just going to go there?
Yeah, I was just going to go
Go
there.
ahead.
So I was going to put on Mr. Brownstone.
Oh, you dickhead.
And then we thought about Blur Song 2.
Yeah, I had Blur Song 2 loaded up.
Yeah. I hate those moments when you run out of time. We don't have a lot of time to hit the bathroom around here. So there I was.
Especially if it's a number 2.
Thank God there was no one from the Human Resources Department to watch me running down the hallway with my fly open and my pants unbuttoned. All right, here we go. I think I can make it, Cubby.
You look a little uncomfortable.
I am uncomfortable. Here's the deal.
Usually there's some warning shots in here, and then you say, oh, that was the last one, and you got to run out of here.
Okay, don't do that. My stomach hurts.
I didn't notice one at all. There was nothing going on.
We got to get going on the stupid news. Enough with my problems, which is going to quickly become everyone else's problem.
You never get up during the show. It's unfortunate because I like to check your browser history, and just see what's going on.
Yeah.
In there. See if there's anything I'd never even heard of yet. I brought it up to Ashley. She's heard of all of it.
Sure,
I'm experienced.
We were talking cosmetic surgeries earlier on the show because our guy Dana, you won't hear Dana for the rest of the show. He was here for our opening break, but now he's gone.
And you're welcome, by the way.
Right. He's heading off to the hairdo restoration shop, and they're going to start punching holes in his noggin and creating a new hairdo for him. You'll hear the endorsements on the program. It's a thing. So we got to talking about cosmetic surgery specifically for men, because a lot of guys are signing up for this stuff where 10, 15 years ago, most dudes would say, nah, that's chick stuff. No, guys are signing up for it left and right. Nose jobs, fat sucks. You get your pecker fattened up for you with some injections. You get a neck lift is one that we discussed. Got a text message from Offended Millennial Jesus. He said he could go for a neck lift. He says he's got a big, fat, stupid neck because he says, I love that pasta.
I've never noticed he has a fat neck. Have you guys?
No.
We've met him several times.
Yeah, not really.
I'd say he's got a stupid-looking neck. Yeah, I agree with him.
Well, if the rest of his body's such a nightmare, you don't notice the neck. If that makes you feel better, we've never noticed your neck because you're a disaster otherwise.
Brock Lesnar needs a head lift.
A head lift?
He doesn't have a neck.
No, he does not.
So he could grow a neck.
You know, like those skinny guys that have breasts? Have you seen that before?
Yes, I have.
They're very thin except for they've got man boobs.
Yes.
Stop talking about me.
Do you have man boobs? I've never noticed.
I feel like they're coming in.
Is your milk coming in? Maybe I'd consider that surgery, the gynomasty or whatever, the gynoplasty, whatever they call it. I'd probably consider that. If you're so thin, that's going to stand out. Or if you're heavier all the way around, it's natural. It doesn't.
Right.
Not as noticeable or I don't know what word to use without being offensive.
That was another cosmetic surgery that we talked about earlier that men are signing up for, to have their breast fat removed. And you know what, Josh? I went to high school with a kid who had a condition where he was as thin as a rail, but he had full-on boobs. And I always felt so bad for him.
And I bet his fellow students were very kind about it, never pointed it out. Never said a word.
You know what? It's funny that you bring that up because I don't remember anyone riding that kid.
I also grew up with someone that had, I imagine, the same condition, and same here. Surprisingly enough, nobody really made fun of him. It was
Maybe
like,
because it was just so bad.
Yeah.
There was a guy in our friend group who was obliterated for having that condition. People were major jerks to him.
It's a fair assumption that kids would have been brutal to these people because we picked on each other for every little damn thing back then. But I don't remember anyone saying word one to this skinny guy.
Did he care? Maybe he didn't even care. I don't know how often you talk about it.
I didn't know him I knew him. We had, we socialized a little bit, but I don't remember him ever bringing it up, and no one brought it up around him. But he was thin as a rail and had beautiful breasts.
Leaning on a shovel, Jesus said, sometimes man boobs can be a side effect of prescription meds. I forgot, we heard that, like, pot smoking, right? Haven't they said that before, that can cause gynecomastia?
I remember that said back when we were young. I don't know if it was ever proven or
so many people do it. I can't imagine. If it happens, it's got to be pretty...
That's why I'm getting boobs.
But you've smoked pot since you came out of the womb.
Yeah, pretty much.
Personally, I've been smoking since I was 2. Here we go with the stupid news. And now that we've settled in a little bit and talked some, I do have a feeling that I'll be able to make it through this conversation. For a second there, I wasn't so sure.
Tummy's feeling a little better?
It is feeling a little bit. I'm still not buttoned up.
You want one of my famous tummy rubs?
I would.
It's been a while.
This here first stupid news story comes from the state of Florida. And yeah, that's instantly aggravating to me. But I couldn't help but take an interest in this here story because it has to do with what they call a black market erectile dysfunction drug case.
That's one thing I would spend money on. If I needed the ED pills, I wouldn't buy the discount stuff that I'm getting from the back of a van.
Yeah, you'd buy the real thing.
Yeah, I want to make sure I'm getting the real thing.
A black market erectile dysfunction drug case. A guy doesn't get many chances to say things like that out loud on the radio, so I took an interest in this. A man from a place called The Villages in Florida.
Sounds nice. They always have nice names for those, don't they?
The Villages. He's facing a year in prison after allegedly stockpiling boner pills, and he's accused of planning to distribute them, and I guess that's not cool with law enforcement. And I heard this effing place called The Villages. I heard this place is notorious down there in FLA. The brand new wife that I have, or maybe I don't have because it could just be a bit to cover up something more sinister that happened here on the morning show that we don't want the public to know about.
Thanks, Obama.
Right.
Is that too old of a reference?
No, that's perfect.
My wife, or not wife, she saw me editing this story. And she said The Villages is well known down in Florida for having one or more old folks communities that just throw lawless Jurassic sex parties.
Good for them.
Like you've heard of, the nursing homes, everyone's back. The word is that just ass-naked grandma and grandpa carcasses are laid out as far as the eye can see, and you just pick one and start pumping away on it. That's what she heard, or possibly personally experienced. I don't know.
There's a lot of those, right, where, you hear it's all this pneumonia and super gonorrhea killing the old people.
Oh! I saw something on the internet that called The Villages in Florida. They called it Florida's friendliest hometown boomer paradise. Mm-hmm. Anyway, back to this guy who's in deep trouble for selling dong dope. Federal prosecutors said the old boy by the name of Reginald Kinser, he's 77 years old. They say Reg had more than $1,800 in erectile dysfunction drugs sent to him, which he got without a prescription from a licensed doctor. And that's not cool. A trial is expected to happen in November. He could face up to a year in federal prison and a fine of up to $10,000 if found guilty.
I'm assuming you saw all the jokes online about that?
No.
He'll be doing hard time?
It's not this Kinzer guy's first drug arrest. He was arrested back in the year 20+20 for possession of several drugs, including marijuana cigarettes, MDMA. Isn't that what the kids call Molly?
I thought so.
Mm-hmm. And some other drugs that I can't pronounce. He was found guilty in 2021 for those offenses and was given 3 years probation. So, he's on the cops' radar. And I believe the story says that authorities found Grandpa Pecker pills on this guy once before also. So he's a repeat offender. Doesn't look too bummed out in his mugshot, does he, Josh?
No, not at all.
Smiling,
like a neat old guy. Well, I could see why he's a neat old guy. He's got a powerful erection.
Right, and when you're 77,
What does he care? Well, going to jail would obviously not be great. I'm sorry, which nickname did you mention for this place, the Villages?
Nickname?
Yeah.
I called it Florida's friendliest hometown, Boomer Paradise.
It has another nickname, too, which I thought was pretty clever. God's Waiting Room.
Oh, that's great.
I want to live in God's waiting room when I'm 77. That's funny.
Randy Shaver's wife gave that nickname to the old folks' home that she and Randy are living in right now.
God's waiting room.
Yeah.
I've got something, too. The Villages in Florida is the world's largest retirement community and has a reputation for naughty behavior.
Naughty.
Right.
Here's an example. Peggy, 68 years old.
Pegging?
That's what I thought you said, too.
A lady named Peggy?
No, yeah, Peggy.
Yes.
68 years old, was arrested for having drunken public sex in the square with her toy boy, who was 19 years younger than her.
Whoa.
4 days before that, she was arrested for drunken driving on a golf cart.
Peggy.
There's another resident, Belinda, 62.
Belinda.
Said, quote, all the women work hard to look good. Turn your back for a minute, and someone will try to steal your husband.
Got a text here that recommends that we look up the loofah color code for the Villages, where apparently they drive around on golf carts, hang loofahs, and the color is what you're into for sexual experiences.
Oh my gosh, what
People
is going
are familiar
on?
with the Villages.
That's hot stuff.
And then better than Dana at Mario Kart Jesus wants to know if the residents are the Villages people. I'd go by the Villages people if I lived there.
So white loofah means you're a beginner. Purple means you're a voyager. Pink, you like to swap.
Sure.
Teal, bisexual. Black, full swap. Yellow, mid-level swap. And blue is lowest level of swap.
What's the difference between a full swap? Is that a permanent one? I didn't know there was different.
Those who say
I don't know. I'm going to need a chart.
They let anything go down.
Oh.
I'm going to need a chart and a weekend to memorize all this before I go down to the Villages. The comments that I've read from this article, a lot of people are talking about, if you want to make some money selling certain medications at the Villages, it should be STD medications, because they're just banging with a Jurassic privates.
Yeah, somebody else texted in and said that the Villages has a reputation for the STDs.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, so if you see a black loofah, they like to get down.
But that's the one that they like to party the most, huh?
Yeah, white, you're a beginner, and then yellow, you're in the middle. Right. You like to have fun, but you're nervous.
Kind of shy.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like...
I've had one interaction, but I'm still shy.
Did you... that sounds like the perfect place to go and have some laughs before you check out. When you said Voyager, did you mean voyeur?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't even notice. I speak Wapple, so I know what you mean when you say it.
Now, speaking of people, places, or things that are famous or infamous in their neighborhood, this here next story says that a beloved and very sexually active snapping turtle from out there in Staten Island, New York, is missing, and the locals are worried that the poor bastard was picked up and cleaned out and made into turtle dam soup. People in the neighborhood are saddened by this. This was like a mascot for these folks.
He's probably just chilling in a swamp somewhere.
It doesn't sound like he's chilling.
Oh, he's got his black loofah hanging off him. I'll tell you, I've mentioned this before. Turtles are the horniest animals I've personally ever witnessed at the zoo. Every time I go there, those turtles are having sex.
They're getting it on.
Ashley,
loudly.
I don't think that he's just off swamp stomping.
Oh, no, there's evidence, isn't there?
Well, sort of. You want to know his name?
Yes.
Snappy. Not Snappy. They call him Snappy.
Hey, Snappy.
The snapping turtle. That's the name the locals hung on this big fat-ass turtle. They say he's 50 effing pounds. He's a biggin. He's upwards around 75 years old.
I like turtles.
And Snappy had a lady friend, too. They were side by side all the time, like me and Cubby. Both of them smooth disappeared last month from their regular spot at a place called Clove Lakes Park on Staten Island, New York. Word is the two of them have been living there for decades. City Parks officials are investigating the possibility that a team of men captured Snappy and his lady under the cloak of darkness. They think these pricks wrapped the turtles up in towels, carried them to their car, and then drove on out of there. They fear the turtles were likely flipped on the black market for big money to restaurateurs and meat markets who want to make turtle soup.
Oh, no.
Anyone here ever had turtle soup?
Yes.
No.
How
I
is
didn't
it?
know it was that hard to, like, come by turtles where you have to steal them off the street. Like, are you not allowed to?
Well,
Are
yes.
they protected?
In New York, they have some of the strictest laws protecting reptiles and amphibians from being purchased or sold.
Okay.
It depends on where you are.
Yeah, I figured it was kind of just like, I don't know, like if you needed a T-bone, you could just hit somebody up, call like a meat guy.
I'm going to put some bouillon cubes into our turtle tank at home. Just get things going.
Cubby, I had some kind of snapping turtle soup when I was a kid, but it was so long ago I don't really remember much about.
You'd probably remember if you hated it, I'd imagine.
That's a good point. I certainly did not hate it. So, longtime Snappy fans in the neighborhood are devastated. They'd come from miles around to watch Snappy and his babe do turtle things. One local said, "I feel terrible not only for the turtles, but for the kids who won't be able to enjoy them anymore." Now, also, Snappy loved to bump. He was known to enjoy rough, loud sex with his turtle woman right there by the lake where the two of them hung out all the time.
It's romantic.
One local said that sometimes the turtle sex was so loud that it sounded like, quote, the crack of baseballs repeatedly hitting a baseball bat. Snappy and his woman would hammer away at each other, and folks would watch and have a few laughs, I guess. Pull out the cellular telephones. Ha ha ha, look, turtle sepping. The bottom line is, folks in this neighborhood aren't happy. They miss Snappy, and they fear the worst.
People always have to ruin stuff.
Well, folks these days have zero respect for anything. And all we care about is money, so you combine those two things, and there you go. They don't care that this turtle couple has been living here for 30 years. All they think about is themselves and how they could make $30 off selling a bucket of turtle soup.
What a couple of terrible weeks it's been here. A couple of the biggest players around have gone down. Nick got married last week, and now Snappy, the horny turtle, he's soup.
Yeah.
It's not right.
Snappy soup.
All right, we're talking Lincoln Park here, not the band, and not the Lincoln Park neighborhood in Chicago. Apparently, this is a Lincoln Park neighborhood summers around Detroit, Michigan. There's an automaker's strike going on over there, don't you know? And it's nice to hear that a Boom Boom Room in the area is doing something nice for the folks who are dealing with the strike. The strip club has a special offer. A strip club, I should say, has a special offer to help the workers on strike. Dream Girls, son.
Don't we have one of those here or not?
Last I was downtown Minneapolis, we still have a Dream Girls. That effing place has been there for F me running ever.
Never been.
What?
Yeah, never once.
I believe many years ago I went there on miner's hat night. They handed out, this was, and I know there's a famous strip joint across the border in Wisconsin who always had this gimmick going, the miner's cap night with the, and I can't think of the name of the place. Maybe it was the Cajun Club. But years ago when I was a young fella, we went to Dreamgirls and it was miner's hat night. They handed out miner's hats to everybody in the joint. They turned all the lights smooth off. So the only lights were coming off of the customers' hats, and you could see exactly where and what everybody was looking at. I thought that was brilliant. I also think me and the Big Al were there for some kind of squirt gun party. I squirted that night.
Miner's night, the spelling is very important on the poster. You do not want to screw that up if you own a strip club.
Right.
That's perhaps one of the more important spellings I can think of.
I'm not going to lie, it took me a couple seconds to figure out what was going on there.
I said miner's hat night.
Yeah, but still, I was like, what?
Oh, I thought that was... But I'm sure as hell, Big Al and I walked in there one night and they handed us a squirt gun. And you load it up with whatever you like. And, we would sit up in the front row and we would, that part on you looks a little dirty. Let me rinse that off with my squirt gun.
It's kind of fun.
It was fun.
Oh.
I've only had, I've only attended 3 local strip clubs.
I was there for, all of them.
All of them, yeah. Well, I've been to another one with you. So, obviously, Rick's, Sheik's.
Wait a minute. Yeah, Rick's, Sheik's.
Yeah, you forgot about Rick's? We're there once a year.
I don't know why that didn't occur to me what it meant to be Rick's. Go ahead. And the last one was?
The Choice.
Then you've been to 4 with me.
What's the other one?
The other one is the one down in Invergrove Heights that I can't think of the name of.
King of Diamonds.
King
That's
of Diamonds.
Right. How did I forget King of Diamonds?
You fell in love that night.
I did.
You guys want to know a quick story on Cubby?
Yes.
Cubby at the Boom Boom. There was a dancer there. She spent some time with us, and at one point or another, Josh said to her, "Hey, let me take you away from all this."
I did not.
Oh.
I did.
He did.
Yeah.
He did.
Douchey. Didn't mean to be.
Every guy that's ever gone to a strip joint has either said that or thought about saying that to a stripper. I don't want you feeling bad about this, Cubby.
I immediately realized the connotation there. But I did want to marry her instantly.
When you're young and you're stupid, you say
early
stupid.
20s.
We were young.
That's adorable.
He said, "Hey, this isn't the life for you.
Oh my gosh.
Why don't you come with Daddy? Jump on board with Daddy, and I'll take you away from all this."
I can.
It wasn't quite that douchey, but it was close enough. Yeah. Well, I wanted to marry her.
I don't want you to feel bad. So here's what they're doing at Dreamgirls in Lincoln Park, Michigan. They've been, number one, they've been passing out bottled water to the folks on strike, and they wanted to do more. So now Dreamgirls is offering free entry and access to the VIP lounge for any member of the UAW, the United Auto Workers Union, I think is what that means. Maybe I'm wrong, but
no, you know it.
You get the gist. Any of the UAW members who are currently on strike get free access to the V by God IP lounge from now until the strike is over. That's a wonderful thing. Normally, you can't just walk into the V. You got to have thousands and thousands.
I have not been to a VIP room. Who here has?
No.
Nick has. Wapple, no. Ashley, I'm surprised you haven't.
Yeah, me too. Now that you say that. I guess
thought
I just
for sure
haven't had the chance.
At one of our toy drives at Rick's, you would have been drugged back there.
Yeah, not yet. I guess there's always next year.
This year.
Oh,
a couple months away.
That's true. Oh my gosh. It's
you
it's
horn
October.
dog.
It's a wonderful experience. It really is. To be
VIP room?
Yeah.
Treated quite differently, are you?
Well, yes.
VIP, are you?
Yes. It's nice.
Expensive, is it?
It is very expensive.
Yeah, like significantly more?
Significantly more, yes.
Oh.
Worth every penny?
Yes! Yes! It is worth every... Hey, baby. This ain't the life for you.
You want to marry a guy that makes zero money and doesn't like to stay up past 9 p.m. if he can help it?
So, where are we now? Oh, Here in town, Josh has been telling us about this the last couple of days. Here in town, there's a scandal going on involving a local cop who also has a red-hot, ass-naked OnlyFans page, right?
Yep.
Down there in Missouri, a high school teacher has been put on leave after her school found out that she gets buck wild on OnlyFans. Brianna Coppage is her nameski. She's 28 years old, an English teacher. She told the local news that because of all this, her teaching days at St. Clair High School were likely over and that she'd likely never teach again.
I don't know about you guys, but my English teachers were always like the most conservative of teachers.
Yeah, for me personally...
Like the least humor. They had no humor.
Yeah, and they were always like over the age of 70.
Most of mine were as well, yeah.
I'm just sitting here trying to picture who taught what.
You got to think. You didn't really go to class a lot. Well, I should say you went, but you slept through most of it.
I was either gone or I was asleep, yeah.
Oh, you know what? Now that I thought about it more, there was one English teacher at my high school, and she was a looker.
Word.
But what was her personality like, though? Stuffy?
No, she was really cool, but she was younger. So, the younger teachers they usually try to be cooler, more friends.
I had an algebra teacher, a dude, though. I could see him having an OnlyFans page. I could see that for sure.
Yeah, one of the male teachers at my school, definitely. And then in middle school, we had a Spanish teacher, muy caliente.
Spicy jalapeno.
Yeah.
So here's this gal teaching high school English, but now that's all over because they found out she has an OnlyFans page. She says she knew the risks of joining the website and getting all of her clothes off, but she did it for the money. Not that it's any of our business, but the story here says her salary was only around $42,000 last year. The risks were worth it, she says. She made an additional $8,000 to $10,000 a month.
Holy cow. Yeah, that is worth it.
This hot teacher gal, Coppage again is her last name, she said, I do not regret joining OnlyFans. I know it can be considered taboo, or some people may believe that it's shameful, but I don't think sex work has to be shameful. She also said it's shameful how underpaid how do I say that? Underpaid teachers are. That's shameful how underpaid they are everywhere.
Well, you could make that same argument for police officers in the case here, locally.
Right.
You can understand why she might want to make a little extra dough.
This gal here in the story, she goes on OnlyFans. She thought she'd be able to keep it a secret because you have to pay to view OnlyFans stuff, but some nosy sumbitch recognized her while whacking off and then had to go run and tell her bosses at the effing school. Oh, she says the school was notified after she and her husband appeared in a video alongside another OnlyFans couple. Well, that sounds interesting, doesn't it?
Oh, they all get along?
Yes, they do.
That's cool.
She has received support from the community, including from parents. Parents have been saying, quote, leave her alone. This is her private business. It has nothing to do with the classroom. Can I get a free subscription? Will you watch me whack off? Are some of the questions that are being thrown. Some supporters have even signed a petition saying she should be able to continue her career as a teacher. And when will she watch me whack off?
We were talking about if we'd had teachers, or what teachers would be likely to have an OnlyFans account. What subject? Physics teacher Jesus said, what about physics teachers? I don't know. I never had a physics class.
Physics? I don't even know what that is.
I'd just be guessing.
My physics teacher was awesome. She roller derby down the side.
Roller derbied.
Yeah.
We used to have those roller derby ladies in here.
Those people are cool.
They could all kick my ass.
Yeah.
Yep.
Aeronautical gravity tester Jesus on the subject of VIP rooms at a dancing club. He's been to a VIP room in Tijuana, Mexico. No good, he says. Just no good.
I'd love to know what goes on.
I thought that was always supposed to be wild, right? Those were crazy.
Well, I know a dude who served in the Navy, and he refuses to go to any strip clubs here in America.
Just don't do it for him after his experiences?
He says, after what I saw from this part of the world and the other part of the world, there ain't a damn thing you can show me at an American strip club that's going to entertain me for more than 10 seconds. And I think I probably would say the same thing had I seen what he has.
It kind of reminds me of the story you told about when you matured sexually and all of a sudden Playboy just basically was like reading the newspaper. It was boring. It did nothing for you. I think you even said that is not pornography or something to that effect.
That's a great memory. We had an argument on this program many years ago where someone called Playboy pornography. I said, that's not freaking pornography. I can show you some magazines that you wouldn't even believe. You know, Playboy should not be mentioned in the same breath as some of these other magazines that are out there. I mean, there was another story where, you know, me and my pack of buddies, we go up north fishing, 3-4 times a year, way up towards the Canadian border. We'd always stop at the same gas station in Cloquet on our way up and buy a couple filthy porno mags. So, Josh, basically after a while, our goal was for my dad, who would always go on these trips with us, for my dad to just turn to page 1 of these magazines and go, Jesus criminy, what's the matter with you guys? You know what I mean? It became our goal to just discuss the old man with the level of porn that we would bring up. But anyway, we got so used to buying these filthy graphic magazines, and every year it was somebody's turn to go in the gas station in Cloquet and buy the magazines. We split that task up year by year. And one year, my buddy Donnie, it was his turn to buy. We're all excited in the car. It's Donnie's turn to buy the porno. He comes back with a couple of Playboys. And we said, what is this garbage? You know what I mean? We got so used to the filthy stuff.
This
Donnie,
is soft.
what's the matter with you? Why would you go buy a play? So, yes, that did become a real thing.
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Twins 2, Blue Jays nothing, 9th inning. The 0-2 to Varsho. He struck him out! Twins win! Twins win! The Minnesota Twins are moving on! The Twins win their first postseason series in more than 20 years. 2-0, shutting out the Blue Jays. The celebration is underway as the players hug and begin the celebration around the pitcher's mound. Twins territory, wherever you are right now, you will not forget this moment.
Like everything you imagine that it feels like. It's elation. It's one of the best feelings in the world.
What happened in there?
They won. They won. They freaking won. The curse is over. 18 years. It's done. We won. We're done. We won. One game. 2004. Oh my God, I don't know what to do. We won. We won. We won. We won!
That sums up the feelings of Twins fans. Thank you, sir. Thank you. See, they're thanking me. I didn't even do anything. Swear.
Let's go! And we're here! We're here! We're here! We're here! We're here! We're here! We're here!
It's only 18-game frustration.
Yes, the sounds of binge drinking. The sounds of being overserved. That was Jim Rich from Channel 9 Sports just getting dry humped the other night at Target Field. I think that was audio from Game 1.
It was, yeah.
When they got their first victory in Toronto.
That video is so good. I forgot. Did you post that, Ashley?
Yep, that's up.
Everybody's having a great effing time. You know what? Honest to God, I got to go ahead and say this. If you were part of those crowds yesterday and the day before at Target Field, good for you. You made a hell of a lot of noise in that series. I mean, I know nothing will ever come close to what the Metrodome put together with the roof on top. And it was, what did they used to say, Josh? It was louder than a friggin'
like a jet or something.
Jet engine, But there was a different kind of a roar coming out of that place the last couple of days. There was just something different about it. It was just great, and you deserve all the credit in the world.
It would have been cool, like, walking around the stadium if you didn't have tickets, just hearing the crowd pops and stuff, because I bet you could hear it pretty audibly.
Audibly?
Audibly.
Yeah. I love your style, man. I do. The Twins are putting all the old memories of playoff failures to bed forever. Tuesday, they broke their 19-year playoff game losing streak. Yesterday, they won their first series since the year 2000 +2 by shutting out Toronto 2-rip over there at Target Field. Yeah, sure, it's a little different these days when it only takes 2 or 3 games to win a series, but it all counts the same. Great win. Now we move on. Saturday, I didn't see a start time yet for Saturday's game. Saturday, game 1 of a best-of-5 with the Houston Astros. Now we're in the divisional round. And we'll talk all about it with Randy Shaver here in about a half hour, but the area here, the Twin Cities, are pumped, and they should be. That was terrific. None of the wild card series are going the maximum 3 games. Sweeps across the board. The Rangers, Diamondbacks, and Phillies advanced yesterday as well. We'll get into it up and down in a half hour. Stay tuned for Josh's news.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show.
Our experienced and certified technicians at Standard Heating have been trusted to keep our fellow Minnesotans comfortable and confident for over 90 years. We're ready to do the same for you, providing comfort you deserve since 1930.
And now is a great time to join their team. Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is currently hiring experienced and entry-level HVAC technicians, dedicated to improving the work-life balance of their employees by providing benefits that include parental leave and 401k match. Apply today at standardheating.com.
Get an inside look at Hollywood with Michael Rosenbaum, talking with the Phelps brothers.
My gym I go to here is owned by a load of Polish guys. I don't really fit in, a bit leaner, shall we say. And this guy waddles over to me one day and he said, I was back in Poland visiting my family and my niece said, you're going to have to see this program. All of a sudden I see you and he's at my gym. My niece wouldn't believe me, so I had to have a photo with this guy, his name is literally Tank as well.
Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum, wherever you listen.
Half-Assed Morning Show. 93X.
The suspect rammed an officer's vehicle, rounded the vehicle in the attempt to stop it. That wasn't enough. The fact that she's ramming vehicles, absolutely dangerous. The fact that she's running on the highway, extremely dangerous.
A slow-moving police chase in California unexpectedly picked up speed Monday night, with the incident culminating in a suspect's arrest at a Denny's restaurant while losing her wig, hilariously, in the process. The pursuit began about 8:20 p.m. local time when the driver of a stolen white work truck slowly leading cops through multiple cities, even using their blinkers when turning and stopping before entering intersections, police said. Then about an hour later, the driver made their way onto the 91 freeway and then back off it with police right on her tail.
Look at that! The primary unit ramming full speed again! That vehicle is now disabled. The primary unit is now completely disabled. That work truck taking the fence with him and now getting on to the freeway, I think. He just got onto the freeway. He's going the wrong way.
Corey Provost on the call. That's when the driver decided to ramp things up, stopping in the middle of the intersection and ramming in reverse into a cop's cruiser twice, then trying to flee once again.
That work truck rams into the hood of that SUV. Look at this, ramming in again in reverse. And look at this wild pit there. Full speed into the front of the work truck, boxing him in here. Look at this, backing up into those black and whites. He's backing up and shoving those units out of the way.
When other police vehicles tried to box in the truck, the driver rammed into all the cop cars, then sped away, slamming into a chain-link fence, driving over an embankment and back onto the freeway, dragging a ladder and a section of the fence behind the truck, driving the wrong way down the westbound lanes.
Damn, man.
Police say the driver finally ditched the car and fled on foot, froggering her way through lanes of nighttime traffic to a nearby Denny's, her blonde wig and shoe flying off in the process.
A female driver jumping out of the vehicle, running into across lanes. Look at this. Oh, my goodness. The female driver running across the 91 freeway. Those drivers don't see her. She is not well. She is now running for it, crossing all lanes of the 91 freeway. This woman continuing the run of her life as she has now made it to the other side of the freeway looking for a hiding spot at a Denny's.
I love that guy.
I got to ask you a question, Josh. Who is this man doing play-by-play for?
The anchor's back. They're showing the anchors were talking about it, right? So it's on television. And he's doing the call. He's exciting.
Yeah, he is.
I love him.
That's a whole different skill set, really.
I agree.
Definitely.
He could call a baseball game.
It seems like he would do just fine.
Yeah.
Do you think he gets amped up, though? Like, yes, we got a car chase. Now I get to go in the helicopter. I get to,
Hell yeah.
How fun would that be?
Yeah, that'd be a blast.
Listen to a baseball or announcer when a fight breaks out. I mean, their delivery's going to pick up a little bit.
It was better listening to him than watching the video.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that guy. The woman, said to be a 26-year-old Los Angeles resident, was taken to the hospital for unknown reasons before being booked. She was on parole following a conviction for burglary.
So much happened there, didn't it, Josh? I'm going to punch up the video here on 93x.com. I want to see the wig come off.
That's the funny part.
Yeah.
A hit-and-run victim tried to take matters into his own hands when a 76-year-old woman struck their car, but ended up on the hood of her vehicle for 2 miles at speeds of 50 miles an hour. Turns out that was a bad call on his part.
Very scary.
The hit-and-run crash was reported shortly before 2 p.m. Saturday. The driver, later identified as 76-year-old Cheryl Henderson, reportedly left the scene, but not before allegedly trying to run over the hit-and-run victim. The man told deputies he used his vehicle to try and block Henderson from leaving. Bystanders noticed Henderson and the man begin arguing. Then, shortly after, she drove her car at the man. Unable to avoid the vehicle, the victim ended up on the hood, hanging on desperately as she reached speeds of 50 miles an hour. She was ultimately forced off the road by a witness who chased her down. When interviewed, she told deputies she didn't stop because she was out of gas.
Twice in my life, under very different circumstances, I've had to hang on to a moving vehicle, and it is really, really effing scary.
Was one just for fun, like hanging on the back, sketching on the back? We used to do that.
One was I was trying to have fun and scare these two gals who were driving through the McDonald's parking lot in high school, right?
Oh,
where we all would,
yeah.
These two gals pull through the McDonald's parking lot, and I figured I'm going to scare them. So I jump on the roof of the hood of the car, not the roof, but the hood. Little did I know, these two gals are all coked up. They're not afraid of jack squat, so they hit the gas.
Oh, no.
And now I'm hanging on for my damn life. The other time, I know I've told you this story before, I sat down on the tailgate of my dad's pickup. We were ice fishing. And he says, yeah, well, we're going to pull up stakes here and go drive over to Larry's Fish House, his buddy Larry. Well, my last memory of Larry's Fish House was that it was just across the bay. What I didn't know, Larry had moved his fish house like 3 miles across the lake. Are you following this?
Yep.
So I jump on the tailgate of my dad's pickup. He thought I had hopped into the bed of the pickup under the topper. I did not. I sat my narrow ass on the tailgate thinking we were going to go 100 yards slowly across the ice. No, the old man gets on the road that they make on the ice, and we're going 50 miles an hour across the lake.
That's so scary.
With the pressure,
I'm sure, yeah.
The pressure ridges. And,
yeah.
I mean, it was ridiculous. He never knew I was back there. I'm hanging on to the narrow bumper. Multiple times I thought, well, I'm just going to throw myself off and take my chances. But I didn't have the balls to do it. Somehow I held on the entire way. I mean, bouncing and bouncing.
No, dude, that's so scary.
I was like 13 years old. If I would have thrown myself off, I likely would have wrung my head off the ice and died.
I think you'd still be sliding somewhere.
Yeah, it was. I can't even explain to you how frightening that is.
Oh, I bet that was terrifying.
Stupid. And the old man never knew I was back there. Even when we got to our destination, I'm like, oh my God. And he had no idea. No idea.
What's wrong with
I'd imagine you had no sympathy whatsoever.
Absolutely not. He said, I thought you jumped into the bed of the pickup. Hey, Larry, how are you? We're going to try to catch some walleyes. My hands were shaking the rest of the day, you know.
A disgruntled 13-year-old student used a pencil to stab his teacher at a Florida middle school Tuesday, then smacked her in the head with a backpack as she called for help. Investigators say the dispute started when a Golden Gate middle school teacher tried to stop the student from sharpening his pencil with a pair of scissors during class. The teacher began to hand him a pass to leave the class to visit a counselor, but when she placed her hands on his desk to give him the note, the student tore the pass and then stabbed her hand with a mechanical pencil. The 13-year-old then struck the teacher in the back of the head with a backpack as she requested assistance in removing him from the classroom.
Hello, Golden Gate Middle families. Today, an incident occurred in one of our science classrooms. The student was removed from the classroom and arrested by deputies on charges of battery on a public or private education employee and disruption of a school function.
Details of what happened next weren't provided, but the teacher resorted to ushering other students out of the classroom to safety, and the boy was taken into custody. That's not right.
No, it's not right at all.
I'm interested why he stabbed her with like a mechanical pencil then. Was he sharpening a mechanical pencil as like a shiv?
Yeah, I don't get what was going on there either. Yeah. I'd imagine you're onto something there. A second-grade teacher in California was arrested for allegedly driving to school drunk and then teaching students while her blood alcohol level was still more than twice the legal limit.
She was nice to me, to the whole class, but she had to stop with the lessons.
She was hammered. 57-year-old Wendy Munson was in the middle of teaching students Monday when sheriff's deputies showed up at 8:20 a.m. to arrest her. Police said they were called to the second-grade classroom about a staff member allegedly being under the influence. She then failed a sobriety test. There was also footage of the teacher driving to school in her inebriated state, the sheriff's office said. Officials noted that even after 2 hours passed from when deputies first approached her, her blood alcohol level remained above twice the legal limit 2 hours later. The case is reminiscent of Kimberly Coates, a third-grade teacher in Oklahoma who was arrested after allegedly showing up drunk on the first day of school in August. Coates appeared on police body cam being pulled out of class for her alleged drunken behavior in front of her students, with the teacher admitting she drank alcohol on her commute to work that morning.
She did she?
A breathalyzer test showed she had a BAC of 0.24, or 3 times the legal limit. A Brooklyn Park senior city program manager was in court Monday to face gross misdemeanor charges of exposing himself to minors.
Oh.
Police say neighbors with young children saw and recorded him masturbating outside his residence.
Oh, no.
The 53-year-old allegedly asked officers for a pass based on his employment with a local government agency.
Wow.
But because he's an alleged scumbag, they declined. Hey, we all work for the government here. Guy can't jerk off in front of his house and kids? What? You can't do that anymore?
So close to being inside.
You're right. Not far away. Yeah, just go inside. The city is conducting an investigation.
Whatever happened to second chances, he says. Huh?
Hey, boys,
Yep.
all of our checks say Hennepin County on them, right? A man on trial for allegedly trying to kill his wife is accused of setting up a tripwire that would cause her to fall to her death.
I'll be damned.
The trial for 63-year-old William Danksonrider Jr. got underway in Westmoreland County, Pennsylvania this week. Prosecutors intend to show he tried to kill his wife by forcing her to take a fatal fall down the basement stairs in their home. Laura Danksrider told investigators she tripped on something as she was on her way down to the basement to get something from the freezer for breakfast. She was able to catch herself before she fell down the wooden staircase and reportedly noticed a piece of fishing line was attached to the walls with 2 metal hooks about 3 inches above the carpet.
Bro.
Prosecutors intend to tell jurors of the couple's unraveling marriage, with witnesses testifying that William, who also goes by the nickname BJ, was allegedly in a relationship with another woman who was given the name BJ in college for pretty cool reasons.
What?
His happiness and sexual satisfaction were more important than Laura, prosecutors said Monday during opening statements. Prosecutors also alleged that Joseph Danksrider planned to kill his wife and collect a $300,000 life insurance policy.
$300,000.
A tripwire.
Yeah, he meant to.
You don't hear
have
about
her
that too often.
Do a double gainer down the stairs and die.
And thankfully, it didn't work.
The anger that would fill me if I caught myself and then looked at that tripwire, we wouldn't make it to court.
He'd be dead?
Absolutely.
Wrap that tripwire around his neck.
Yep.
He's done.
You like to fish?
He's done. A Florida man got more than he bargained for after his dating app match set him up to get carjacked. 24-year-old Brianna Eady and an unidentified 35-year-old Orlando man decided to meet in person at an apartment complex after communicating over the tagged dating app. According to the affidavit, the pair drove to a nearby park in the victim's SUV. When the couple arrived, the park was closed, so they returned to the apartment complex. During the ride back, the victim told police that he noticed she was on her phone a lot, sending and receiving multiple text messages. At one point, she even made a phone call to someone, police said.
Uh-oh.
Then, around 11:50 p.m., the two arrived back at the apartment, where they were met by 2 suspicious men, including one carrying a gun. The armed man allegedly ordered the victim out of his vehicle and demanded him to give him his keys. During the robbery, the victim said his date calmly exited the vehicle and appeared to just stand around and wait. A police spokeswoman offered advice for anyone planning to meet someone from a dating app.
Like any app, online, exchanging, meeting somebody that you don't have any background information on them, do your best to vet it out, maybe try to confirm information that they give.
Did you guys do that when Ashley and Wapo, when you were on dating apps?
Oh, no. Most definitely. I knew, by the time I was seeing a guy for the first date, I knew, his mom's name, his dad's name, what school he went to when he was a kid. Yeah.
Just from some internet sleuthing?
Yeah, next level stalking. Well, you can never be too safe, you know?
Well, that's how Wapple and I met. He was trying to meet up with a gal on Tinder, and I robbed him.
And I've been working for him ever since.
The victim was able to provide photographs of the woman from the dating app, which led to her positive identification and arrest, making it pretty easy for police. New Prague residents received quite a shock opening their municipal utilities bill last month, finding out that they owed $9,152,023.
Whoa.
Guess I used a lot of water and electric, one local resident joked in the New Prague Happenings group on Facebook. The city administrator said a glitch in some new software caused the error. He said city staff was made aware of the problem almost immediately and corrected the issue, then sending out the appropriate bill to customers. In an email, it was explained the program mistakenly read the date, 9/15/2023, as the amount due.
There had to have been at least a few people in New Prague who just greased their shorts when they opened it.
I would assume I had the world's largest leak somewhere. I'm just dumping gallons of water every second.
Yep.
Speaking of little glitches like that, I think I just saw one on the internet just out of curiosity and because I'm antsy. I tried to. Maybe this information is out there now, but a half hour ago, I was trying to find out, okay, when is this friggin' Twins game going to begin on Saturday? Because Ashley and I are going to the Golden Gopher football game Saturday night, right?
Yep.
I want to know if this is going to be a day game, a night game between the Twins and the Astros. I just looked at a website, Josh, and it says the start time for Game 1 of the Twins-Astros series is 3 a.m. And I said, well, that's a bit of an inopportune time to begin a baseball game. But at least that's what one website is saying. Game time, 3 a.m. Saturday.
Good to know.
I looked at the Twins website. It's the same start time for each game. If it goes all the way. TBD?
TBD.
Yeah, so
sure.
Tune in TBD. That's when they're going to have. Loki Season 2 launches exclusively on Disney Plus tonight. Loki returns for its second season with Tom Hiddleston in the title role, and he'll once again be working with Owen Wilson's Mobius and other members of the Orwellian-sounding Time Variance Authority to navigate the multiverse.
You guys down with all these characters?
Yes. Yeah. I like Loki.
Same here. One of my favorites.
It's funny. Yeah, I enjoy it. Those guys are great. Owen Wilson is awesome. All subsequent episodes will be available on Thursdays this time around. Then on Netflix, Part 3 of the French mystery thriller Lupin. I enjoy that one. On Max, the second season premiere of the swashbuckling comedy series Our Flag Means Death. And the matchup for tonight's Thursday night football game on Amazon is a real thriller. The Washington Commanders hosting the Chicago Bears.
I think it'll be fun.
It'll be fun.
Yeah.
Al Michaels will be pumped.
Oh,
man, he'll be having a good night.
He's giddy.
The Social Network, Now You See Me, Zombieland, and Batman vs. Superman star Jesse Eisenberg, 40. Kate Winslet from Titanic, Divergent, and Mayor of Easttown, 48. Also from Mayor of Easttown, Guy Pearce, known from Memento, Iron Man 3, and The Hurt Locker as well. He's 56.
You don't hear much about guys named Guy anymore.
Yeah, I was in a band with a guy named Guy.
I went to school with a guy named Guy.
Was that his real name or a nickname?
As far as I know, it was his real name, Ski.
Yeah, for mine, it was a nickname. I was disappointed.
I just know one guy, Guy Fieri.
What about Guy Pearce? Let's do.
What are we going with? We can claim we know these.
We can't name famous people that we can claim we know.
You can't say, I know Brad Pitt. You don't know Brad Pitt.
Or do you know Guy Fieri?
No.
You don't know him, do you? Hockey legend Mario Lemieux, 58.
I know him.
Horror legend Clive Barker, perhaps most famous for Hellraiser, 71.
Wapple and I know all these people.
And AC/DC singer Brian Johnson, 76.
Yes.
Best of luck to hard-headed Jesus. She woke up and decided, you know what, this is my last day at her current job.
That's it?
Yeah, she's done.
What does she do for a living?
I don't know. She said or not she, this is me, saying I'm looking forward to hear about the better things that are up next. Hopefully we still hear from her.
Well,
She's not going to be able to listen live, she said.
Well, it's the right move to make. I don't think you were very good at your job anyway.
Hey, you get a long weekend.
Big Rig Fenders Jesus was looking for a shout-out to High Bar Brands Minimizer for celebrating his first year there a few days ago. Still enjoying the work, he said. And happy birthday to Big Pepperoni's Jesus, turning 28.
Oh, no.
I don't know the reference. And Big Booty Judy, turning 20. And that's 93X News.
KARE 11's Randy Shaver.
This guy is beautiful.
On the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Had a base hit. Likely ties the game. Oh, do they have picked off? Oh, they got him. Oh, what a mistake by Vlad Guerrero. He's signaling to the dugout. He thinks he got in. Oh, did they bail out Sonny Gray?
So, Michael, the way this works is Sonny Gray catches the ball. He looks at Correa, and he's going to go to the hat for the acknowledgement. Now, that play is hot right now. Once he becomes set, you count 1001, 1002, go pick off at second base. The hat is the key, and is acknowledged with another hat by Correa.
I talked to Sonny earlier in the game, and I told him there were some free outs on the bases. And he was like, what do you mean? I'm like, they're taking big leads. If you look at me, I'll give you a sign, and in key spots, we can get some outs there. It felt like the right situation to do it, 3-2 count. Vladdy was getting a huge lead. Obviously, he's trying to score on a single.
We get there in the 5th inning, 3-2 count, and I hear timing pick, second base. And I'm like, all right, yeah, we talked about this. I turn, give the ball to Carlos. Carlos catches it, makes an incredible tag, and we get him out.
Here we go, Randy Shaver.
Good morning.
Good morning, man. I told you that this was the year that the Twins pump somebody. This was the year that they F somebody's season up.
Well, they did that to Toronto, that's for sure.
F you, Canada.
Oh, wow.
Take your weak brand of baseball.
Yeah,
the
he
whole
went
country.
for it. Wow.
Take your weak brand of baseball and get out of our town. So long, buddy.
Bring back the Expos.
So long, guy.
I'm not your buddy, guy.
What they're doing, Randy Shaver, they're putting these old memories of playoff failures to bed forever.
Well, they're trying. They're doing their best.
Did you hear Jim Rich get dry humped?
I did not.
No.
Oh, that is so good.
I heard about fans, right? Is this what I'm hearing? Yeah.
After game 1, Jim Rich had a live mic. He's live on television with the Channel 9 news. Inferior brand of news to KARE 11. Everybody knows that.
Oh, yeah.
But there's Jim Rich hanging around with a microphone right when the final out was made, and here comes the crowd. Everybody's been drinking since 8 a.m., you know. And they mauled them, hollering into the microphone. It was a riot. Is the video up on our website?
Yes, it is.
And the audio is fun.
But they're there.
They won. They won. They freaking won. The curse is over. 18 years. It's done. We won. We're done. We won. One game. 2004. Oh my God, I don't know what to do. We won. We won. We won. We won.
That sums up the feelings of Twins fans. Thank you, sir. Thank you. See, they're thanking me. I didn't even do anything. Swear.
Let's go. Hey, we're here. We're here. We're here. We're here. We're here. We're here. We're here.
It's only 18-game frustration.
I did get a text. The first time we played that audio earlier this morning, Randy Shaver, I got a text from a listener that says, why do our fans sound like I'm watching The Muppet Show?
They do sound like that. A couple of people text me and said that they know that guy.
Combination of being giddy and alcohol.
Yeah, exactly.
Overserved. Who, the we here guy?
The first guy that started talking. And I'd mentioned before, Jim Rich was really doing his best to hold that guy up. I don't think he would have been able to stand on his own.
Well, yeah, the man got down on his knees at one point or another, like he was thanking God. That was great stuff. So there you go. Tuesday, they break their 19-year playoff game losing streak. Yesterday, they win their first series since the year 2000 plus.
And it was a fitting way to win, because that's how, if Sonny Gray was going to win in the second half of the season this year, it was going to be a 1-0, a 2-0, a 2-1, a 3-1, just because for whatever reason, the run support just never seemed to be there in his starts in the second half of the season. So, you know, hats off to him. He pitched a very solid game. The bullpen has been tremendous in this series. They have really done a great job.
What did I have in front of me here, Randy Shaver? They've tossed 7 1/3 scoreless innings in the series. The bullpen did.
And that's the biggest question, I think, going into the playoff series. How would the bullpen hold up? And I think they answered that question, at least against Toronto's lineup. They answered that question. I thought the pickoff yesterday was tremendous. I did something last night in our News at 10 showing the great pickoff from Laudner to Gaetti in 87 and how that changed the ALCS series against the Tigers in Game 4 when they picked off Darrell Evans at third base. It changed the complexion of that game. It changed the complexion of the series, and it sent the Twins to the World Series in '87. Maybe what happened yesterday in the game and picking off Guerrero will do the same thing for this Twins team. It's just one of those unexpected plays.
It was beautiful.
That
was awesome.
Just changed the whole dynamic of that. Not only that inning, but I just think the outlook of how this team was playing. So
it was a beautiful pickoff by Sonny Gray, a great tag by Carlos Correa. I love how Vladimir Guerrero Jr. was so sure that he had gotten back in time.
He laid there for a while. Maybe he was afraid to go back to the dugout, but he was definitely laying there for a while.
Loved watching those replays.
I was reading the quotes last night that Correa was saying it was so loud at Target Field that base runners could not hear the base coaches telling them to get back. That there was no communication verbally between the base runners and the coaches because of the noise. And that played a big factor in them thinking they could make this move happen, and they did.
It was wonderful, and I was watching your news last night. I loved the comparison to Gary Gaetti and Tim Laudner from '87. If you remember, Randy, we talked about that 3 months ago with Dick Bramer.
Yes.
We talked about of course, whenever Dick is on, we always end up talking about 87 or 91 just because they were such wonderful times. But we talked about that massive play in Game 5 in Detroit in '87.
Game 4.
Well, I thought it was
the
deciding game.
No, the game. It was a best-of-7 series.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. That wasn't the final game of the series where he picked.
Not.
Okay,
no,
fair enough.
It was game
At
4.
any rate, we talked about it 3 months ago, and here we are, and another massive pickoff, comes up in a Twins playoff game. I love those little things that happen in baseball. A lot of folks, home runs, 100-mile-per-hour fastballs. It's the little things that I love about baseball, and you saw it yesterday, picking off Guerrero. Like you mentioned, Sonny Gray worked his ass off. The bullpen took it from there.
What happened to Duran? Did he get like a hangnail or something?
He
had a blister.
He had something on his finger that they had to repair.
I got a little squirrely at that moment, didn't you, Ashley?
Yup, I did not like that scene.
I thought they were going to take Duran out of the game, and then they'd bring in Ron Davis, and then...
and Billy Gardner goes effing RD.
But Duran, whatever it was, I thought it was a blister or a cut on his finger that was bothering him.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Okay,
it was like a cut.
And boy, it didn't look like anything. His first 2 pitches were awful, and I thought, oh, God.
Yep,
he's going to be removed. And then from then on out, he just killed him. He just burned it.
How could you not, though? The crowd was just so amped. Just the atmosphere was. I said this in our newsroom yesterday. If you put a roof over Target Field, like there was at the Metrodome in 87 and 91, I would argue the noise yesterday would have been louder, and that's hard for me to say.
You might be right.
Because 87 and 91, the noise inside the Metrodome was so loud you could not, if you were to yell, it would be like yelling into a vacuum. You couldn't hear yourself. And I think yesterday, had there been a roof at Target Field, that noise may have been louder.
You may be right. I mentioned earlier, there was something bigger and badder about the roar from that ball field yesterday and the day before than I've ever heard there. Yeah. In past playoff games, the one-game playoff with Houston a couple years ago, things like that. There was just something. I got a text from a listener who says he was there yesterday. He said the roars were something that gave you the chills every time it happened. Playoff baseball is something else. There's no way to describe. This listener said there's no way to describe how it felt yesterday when the crowd was really amped up. I give that crowd all the credit in the world. They were terrific.
There's so many games inside the game yesterday that make it such an interesting ball game. And when the manager pulls Barrios after 47 pitches and decides that they're going to play the matchup game and try to get rid of the Twins' left-handed hitters in their lineups. You just got, at least watching it, I felt like, oh man, this is going to work in the Twins' favor. It's just going to work in their favor. What he's doing goes against the I guess, the baseball probabilities, right?
Right.
Barrios is pitching so well.
Yeah, he looks sharp.
He's got the Twins off balance. He's making such great 32 of 47 pitches were strikes. He is on his game. And I know they apparently had talked about how they were going to do this. Even the announcers were saying, man, he's itching to take Barrios out. He's got Kikuchi warming up. He's got another lefty warming up. You can tell this is the plan. This is what they're going to do. And it just backfired. The whole thing just backfired against him. And it was beautiful. I mean, it was just, you could just feel like it was going to fail.
I imagine in Toronto they don't have very many kind words for John Schneider. What's his first name? Is it John, the skipper?
I don't have that in front of me.
John Schneider was from the Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah.
What the hell is the skipper's name for the Blue Jays? Anyway, go ahead, Randy.
I was just going to say,
John.
It's John Schneider, same as the Duke family. Okay.
I just think that play will be overly, and they said this in the broadcast too, and I agree that it would be scrutinized for months to come as to why you decided to do that. They called it I think the word was an institutional decision, that it was or organizational decision, I should say. Not just Schneider, but the whole organization made the decision. That's
the risk of being a manager.
Yeah, it backfired. And, the idea is it's a one and done. So you pull out all the stops.
Right.
You try to do everything you can because there is no tomorrow.
Right.
If you lose. And so
everyone understands that, but Barrios looks so damn good. Let her buck.
Did you see the picture of him when the Twins were celebrating? The picture of him standing in the dugout?
Because he knows a lot of those guys.
Barrios
that was
or
just
Schneider?
Heartbreaking. Barrios.
He was bummed, huh?
Yeah, just honestly, it broke my heart seeing that picture.
Is that what it did? It broke your heart? I say F him. F him.
Well, it would have been different had he been struggling.
Right.
Had he been walking more than one guy. But he was carefully pitching to Royce Lewis. He was not going to give Royce Lewis something really good to hit.
Yep.
And
it's the modern way of managing.
Well,
look at it. Here's a text from Beer, Brewing, and Drinking Jesus. Analytics are dumb. You don't take out a hot arm.
Well, I think, to be honest, I think this was their game plan going in. I think that they had made the decision before the game even started. This is what they were going to do.
They should have changed that decision.
They probably should have.
They probably should have.
Yep.
So here you go. Oh, by the way, you know who went to both games at Target Field, Tuesday and yesterday?
Who?
Local legend, former referee Rob Page. Oh. And he said, again, he texted us after game one. He texted again this morning after game two, saying the crowd noise was insane. He said it was absolutely something to feel that energy. And I really wish I would have been there.
Yeah,
I'd mentioned you guys.
Stupid radio job.
Yes. Earlier, speaking of radio, I had to listen to the last 3 innings. I had to be somewhere last night, and it was more prominent over the radio than it was on TV.
Go ahead and play Corey Provost's final call.
I know it was awesome. He did such a great job.
He's a great announcer.
Yeah, he is. He's awesome. Yeah, just give me a second to grab.
Yeah, hammer down, Cubby, whenever you get around to it. Here's a classic.
He's so good.
Classic Country Jesus says, I was eating supper last night, about 6 blocks away from Target Field, and I could hear the crowd cheering all day long. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Those folks did a great job. So next up, the world champs, Randy Shaver. A 5-game divisional series pops off on Saturday in Houston. We still don't have a game time for Saturday?
We don't yet, no.
When do we find out?
They'll get her done today, don't you think, Randy?
Okay.
Yeah, it'll all be announced.
They got to make plans for this and that. Here's Corey Provost calling the final yesterday.
Twins 2, Blue Jays nothing, 9th inning. The 0-2 to Varsho. He struck him out. Twins win. Twins win. The Minnesota Twins are moving on. The Twins win their first postseason series in more than 20 years. 2-0, shutting out the Blue Jays. The celebration is underway as the players hug and begin the celebration around the pitcher's mound. Twins territory, wherever you are right now, you will not forget this moment.
I was glad that I was listening to the radio to hear that call.
Oh, I've got tears in my eyes.
Yeah,
That's great, man.
Oh, man, that was awesome.
I was dancing around the basement of my home by myself.
I love
Now
that for you.
I'd love to see.
I busted out into a dance. This is a funny text from Ask Me About CrossFit Jesus. The Toronto Blue Jays pitching controversy will be over once the Maple Leafs start to suck again. So now they got to play the champs. After the game yesterday, Carlos Correa, who of course spent 7-8 years in Houston, he said they've got a great team and so do we. Everywhere you look, we're ready.
Yeah. I don't, again, we talked about this before all of this started. Pitching is going to be the difference maker for this team. Arise goes 1 for 8 in the 2-game series for Miami. They don't make it. They get beat. They get knocked out. And then you've got Lopez pitching the way he did in Game 1. I'll take Lopez over Arise in a playoff series any day of the week. The pitching makes the difference when you get into these short series like this.
Mm-hmm.
It's not one batter normally. It can be. Royce Lewis certainly shined in Game 1. But, man, Lopez dominance in Game 1, I'll take that any day.
I'm with you.
The Twins have that. Now, Joe Ryan will get the start on Saturday in Game 1 against the Astros. And obviously hasn't pitched for a little bit. He was pretty solid all season long, but he'll be jacked up to get a chance to pitch in the postseason. And the lineup they're facing is way different than what they faced against Toronto. This lineup in Houston is
they got the bats
rock solid all the way through. It's a totally different dynamic than what they're going to face or what they have faced. I mean, Altuve, Bregman, Alvarez, Tucker, Abreu,
bastards, every one of them.
McCormick is solid. They top to bottom. Obviously, their everyday lineup is, I think, certainly better.
Oh, yeah.
And their pitching staff is challenging. I mean, Framber Valdez had a very good year. You've got the young kid in Hunter Brown. You've got Verlander over there. Their bullpen is good. I mean, there's a reason why the Astros got the bye. There's a reason why they've been sitting there waiting for whoever wins this Twins-Toronto series. This is a really good baseball team.
I have one word.
It's going to be fun.
I certainly hope so. Josh, I have one word to describe how I predict I will behave during the Astros series. One word, and it's irrational. I will be irrational throughout the duration of this series, like a Vikings fan.
I was going to say, back to your old Vikings fandom days.
I will be irrational. Yes, I will. Speaking of pitching, here's a text message. It's from a 715 area code, Wisconsin. We don't normally allow that around here, but I'm going to go ahead anyway. From a Wisconsin listener. Is it just me, or does it make you nervous that the boys only scored 5 runs in the series? The pitching was great, but you got to score more than 3 runs to beat the Astros in a 5-game series. Hey, that I think, sure, it's concerning because we if you watch the Twins this year, they've had little spells, especially in the first half of the year. The second half of the year, they hit the hell out of the ball. In the first half of the year, they did have dry spells like any club, but I'll tell you this. Their struggles at the plate against Toronto, I think, is credit to Toronto's pitching staff.
Yeah, I would argue that 5 runs, 3 runs a game is enough as long as your pitcher is doing what he does. And as long as Sonny Gray and Joe Ryan and Lopez are dealing the way we saw those first 2 guys deal against Toronto and the bullpen doing the job that they were doing, I think 3 runs can be enough. It really can. In a series like this, it can be enough. It's just, if the pitchers are doing the job the way we've seen them do in games 1 and 2, I think they can get by with that. Even against a Houston team.
Here's a listener that says, you know what, Randy, if you love the Twins so much, why don't you marry him?
Yeah,
just go ahead, marry him.
Randy,
Jeez.
marry him.
I just think that they seem to be built right now to
We're
be
having
able
fun.
to do something fun.
Yeah. You made a hint at this a minute ago, Randy Shaver. None of the wild card series are going the maximum. sweeps across the board. The Texas Rangers, the Arizona Diamondbacks, and the Philadelphia Phillies advanced yesterday. So now we go Orioles, Rangers.
Yes.
Braves,
series.
Phillies, Dodgers, Diamondbacks, along with the Twins and the Stros.
And the home field was only a 50-50 deal. 2 home teams won and 2 away teams won. So
there you go.
It's not a lock that you're going to advance just because you're at home.
A couple of people texted in and said, Joe Ryan gets game 1? Oh, no.
I disagree.
He's struggled a little. I don't know. I don't really like it.
I disagree. I think Joe Ryan will be fine.
Hey, Ashley, did you see that your boyfriend, the strudel, Max Kepler, made history yesterday?
No, what do you mean?
First pitch clock violation in Major League Baseball playoff history.
Yeah, I did see that.
He was flexing his ass cheeks for you, and he forgot to get into the batter's box.
Yeah,
he looked unhappy with himself.
That's a pitch timer violation. The count goes to 3-2. So that was on the batter. And he gets punched out. So a very costly pitch timer violation.
Yeah, he was taking to himself.
Yeah, he's not really doing that great the last 2 games, but it's okay.
Oh, for God's sake, get off the strudel's ass. He's had a great year.
He'll be all right.
When I was watching Varland yesterday, I kept thinking, Ashley kicked him in the leg once.
Oh my gosh, it's so cute whenever he's on. I was at my folks' place yesterday and he was pitching, and it's just so cute. My mom gets so excited every time talking about him.
That is pretty funny.
She's like, remember when he used to have long hair?
All right, so we can talk more about the Twins matchup with the Astros tomorrow. I'm sure Brad Ryder has something or another he'd like to say about it. He thinks he knows baseball. It's hilarious. It's cute, isn't it, when we get Brad on the line and he thinks he
Totally different deal playing the Astros. Remember the last time they played them? The only other time they played them was during COVID, right?
The 1-game deal.
Well, it was 2 games.
Was it a 2-game?
No, 1 game. No, you're right.
Yeah.
1 game.
It was one game. And that lefty, was that Valdez? No, who was the lefty that just dominated the Twins?
I think
that
it
day?
was Valdez.
God help us, it was Valdez.
Yeah. And that was COVID. That was in Houston, right?
No,
or
it was here.
Okay, so there was nobody there, right? No fans.
I think a handful of folks. It's been so long now.
Was it COVID, though?
Yeah, but I thought they allowed a handful of. By that point, I thought they let some people into the game.
Maybe they did because it was in the fall of.
I don't remember. Just if you love them so much, just marry them.
Yeah, marry them.
That's all. Little side note here for our listening audience. If anyone is wondering why you aren't hearing Dana's voice, there's an interesting reason why he's not here. He's getting married, a.k.a. dealing with a recent DWI.
No, that's not it.
No, he's having a new hairdo plugged into his big fat skull this morning. Okay. He's got this new hair restoration thing happening.
Oh.
And this morning, they had to have him check in at 6 a.m. to start going at it. And I think he's going to be there until like 7 o'clock tonight or something.
Mm-hmm. Oh, my.
That's a big day for him.
It's an all-day hair restoration operation, Randy Shaver. How did you like yours? Did it hurt a little bit?
Well, no, because I can take mine off and replace it with a different one.
It's Lego hair.
Yeah, so it's just a tape-on deal.
So if Dana's somehow doped up and listening, hang on to something.
Isn't that kind of painful too?
Yeah, they said he's going to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
He was also saying that he was happy the Twins would wrap it up for him yesterday, so he doesn't have to be all drugged up trying to watch the game, getting the procedure.
What, like none of us have been drugged up watching a ball game? It's not that difficult.
True.
Bears, Commodores tonight, Randy.
Oh, my gosh. I'm going to watch. I just have
why
to.
not?
It's just going to be comical.
Yeah, I hope it will be. I hope it'll just be, like a circus sideshow.
I mean, I do actually have a couple of players I'm interested in watching, obviously, for fantasy reasons, but I just think watching the Bears tonight,
Well, I mean, the Bears,
after last week,
they've kind of looked like a pack of drunks so far. But the Commodores, I mean, they damn near beat Philadelphia last week, right?
They did. No, Washington's got a good defense. The young quarterback is playing decently, Sam Howell. They've got some pieces, but I just think the Bears' implosion against Denver is going to be one of those stories they're going to talk about tonight, and just to see how they respond is going to be fun.
Now, I was reading an article, and I guess their point is that this is a bad omen going into the Vikings game Sunday at home against Kansas City.
What, Taylor Swift's not coming?
No, enough with her.
Oh, is she not going to be there?
I don't know. I'm just making it up.
This
could be like the colossal sports weekend of all time, though, right?
Okay.
You got the Twins playing the Astros. We don't know what time yet. You got the Michigan Wolverines and the Gophers on national TV.
Yeah.
On NBC at 6:30 on Saturday night, and then the Vikings and Taylor Swift come to town on Sunday.
And Taylor Swift.
Could there be a more monumental weekend? And the Twins would play on Sunday too. Could there be a more monumental week? I don't think we've had a bigger sports weekend this year.
It's a big one.
This one coming up.
So the route they're taking here with this article is that Jim Nantz will be calling the Vikings game Sunday against Kansas City, and he hasn't called a Vikings win in 10 years. That's the route they're taking, that every time Jim Nantz...
A Vikings game or a Vikings win?
A Vikings win.
Oh, Vikings
he
win.
hasn't called a Vikings win in 10 years. Now, personally, Gary
Tony
Gnu
Romo's with him, right?
Pardon me?
That means Tony Romo's with him, too.
I don't know. I don't follow such
they're paired
things.
together, right?
Nantz and Romo.
You know, Guy Smiley and Gary Gnu could be calling this Sunday's Vikings game, and they'd still probably have a hell of a difficult time beating Kansas City. But that's the route they're taking, is that every time Jim Nantz cracks the mic for a Vikings game, they lose. And not only lose, they get crushed. Last
Jim
year,
Nantz is making the call, Nick. That means it's a national game of some type.
Is that what that means?
Yes, it does. It means it's a bigger game than just your normal game.
last year he called the game against Dallas, and the Vikings lost 40-3. Last season, the Vikings lost to the Packers 41-17. Was that last year? I don't recall that. I don't care. But did someone look that up? Did they lose to Green Bay last year 41-17? What happened in that friggin' game?
I know they lost to Green Bay and Lambeau because I was there, but I don't think it was by that much.
Maybe that was a couple years ago. Now, I never gave much of a rat's ass about Baker Mayfield, but then he beat Kirk Cousins and the Vikings in the home opener, and now I'm a big fan.
He's actually having a decent year.
Apparently, he got caught on a microphone saying something filthy during the Buccaneers' win over the Saints a few days ago.
Got hard as soon as I saw him running with emotion.
You probably couldn't follow that, but he was telling a wide receiver on his ball club by the name of Chris Godwin. He was telling Chris Godwin that when a certain coverage showed itself from the Saints' defense, he said his D got hard.
Got hard as soon as I saw him running with emotion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, he's not saying that to a reporter. He's saying that to a teammate. So
yeah, he didn't know Godwin was mic'd up for the ball game.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's such a typical dude thing to say too.
Yeah, chicks don't say that very often. You're right, Ashley.
Like I've heard that uttered so many times.
Well, we often do claim sexual excitement from something non-sexual.
Yeah.
Yes,
like a good pizza or something.
Yeah. Boy, I'm just as hard as a... Yes, Wapple, you're trying to say something?
The Packers did beat the Vikings, and it was at Lambeau.
What the hell?
Oh, so I was there. I just don't remember it being that bad.
How the hell did it become 41-17?
Yeah, I must have tried to drink to forget the hurt, the pain.
Apparently, this Mayfield guy likes to say cute things to his teammates to get a laugh or two. In this case, he didn't know there was a live mic cooking. I guess in week one, when they beat the Vikings and when it was clear that the game was over, he and the rest of the offense were in the huddle, and he said to his teammates, well, that's the game, boys. Now we have to group hug in the showers tonight.
That's game, boys. Now we got a group hug in the showers tonight, fellas.
I'm in.
We win! Group hug in the shower tonight! Or not?
Oh, he was stealing that from a television show or
The
something?
new longest yard.
Yeah.
The new longest yard?
Yeah. The most recent one.
Oh, the one from 10, 12 years ago with
the one you hate.
Stupid Adamson.
Yeah, it was one of the convicts was cheering in the crowd, and he's like, group hug in the shower.
I see. I see where he is now, where he's going with that. You know that I'd love to go the rest of our radio career without ever talking about the gas bag ever again, Karen Rogers.
that's not possible.
I got a pile of text messages on this yesterday from our mostly wonderful listening audience. So Wapple knows this. Like the best friends say on AEW Wrestling, you got to give the people what they want. Mm-hmm. A lot of texts came in on this yesterday. People are calling out the gas bag for being a hypocrite. The story is he called Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver Travis Kelce Mr. Pfizer during a recent appearance on the Pat McAfee show. McAfee, for Christ's sake. McAfee. Kelce did a television commercial for the Pfizer COVID vaccine. Okay, so then Karen makes a cute comment and calls him Mr. Pfizer. Hilarious, right, Josh?
Yeah, it's a good one.
I mean, where do you,
Mr. in front of it.
How'd you come up with that, right? But the deal is, Karen, who did trust doctors enough to operate on his Achilles, he's being called a hypocrite because he plays for and is paid by the New York Jets, who are owned by Woody Johnson, who, of course, is the heir to the Johnson & Johnson pharmaceutical empire. How do you say that word?
Pharmaceutical. Carcucci.
So they make the vaccines. The Johnson & Johnson pharmaceutical company.
Are you saying pharmaceutical?
Pharmaceutical.
Yes.
No, I think you nailed it, Nick.
No, I think Nick was right.
Yeah.
And the pharmaceutical company, they make the vaccines.
They make one of them, yes.
Right.
Stuff like this is why I love the internet.
Yeah. Everyone caught him on this, and they're calling him out on it. One reporter said, Karen taking a shot at Travis Kelce for doing Pfizer commercials when his checks are literally signed by the heir to the Johnson & Johnson pharmaceutical fortune is even a bit rich for me. But he's a gas bag. It's got to come out or he'll explode. He's just so much smarter than the rest of us. Sheeple is what it is. You know, he knows the real truth behind things. He knows the real story. What, you don't know the real story? You don't? Because I'll tell you. By the way, did anyone else feel kind of funny after that coast-to-coast emergency text thing happened yesterday afternoon?
Yeah.
I've felt weird ever since. Was that just a regular text message, or is there real truth behind that?
Well, it was a test.
Yeah.
Yeah, are you referring to the nanoparticles that got activated in your bloodstream?
Oh, God, no. Is that what I felt?
Yeah, that's what it was.
Well, what's next for me then?
Well, I mean, there's a couple things, right? You could be controlled by the government like a toy puppet.
Oh, for God's sake, I knew it.
Or they obviously can track you wherever you go.
Or your new wife controls you. I mean, I think that happens too.
Hey, look, Randy, like I told you and Brad a couple of days ago, I don't need to hear your problems, okay? Ever since that emergency thing went through yesterday, I've felt odd, like off.
Yeah, I hear you. It affected me too. Although I will say this, even though I knew it was coming, you know, we all knew it was coming, right? It still scared the hell out of me. And at 1 o'clock, I even realized, it's going to be here in a second.
Did you jump? You jumped?
Yeah.
I slept through it.
You slept through it?
Yep.
I mean, you didn't even hear it?
Nope. When I woke up, I was like, 1:45, and I looked at my phone, and I was like, it says that it went off. How did I, isn't that the whole point?
So
it's supposed to be so loud.
You even slept through the tornado sirens and everything, too.
Yup, yeah, I guess I did. And my dog's barking, yup.
Must kill the queen.
Oh, my God. Josh told me right after that alert came through, the first thought that went through his mind was, I must kill the queen. And he was wandering around. I had to shake him and wake him up. Now, you guys do what you want here. But just know that I would really appreciate it if you saved your Happy Gilmore jokes. I really would. If you care about me and my health, you'll save your stupid happy, I think that's the name of the movie. There's a police investigation going on up there in Canada. Randy Shaver, you ready to talk some hockey yet?
Sure.
There's a police investigation going on up there in Canada. Word is a junior hockey player has been accused of purposefully slashing an opponent's throat with his skate on the ice.
Oh, my God. That's terrible.
Jesus.
Oh.
According
I don't
to
have that kind of temper.
So how did he do it? Was the player that he was trying to slash on the ice had fallen down, or how did he?
That's what it sounds to me.
How did that even happen?
Late in this game, it was a junior hockey game. I don't need to bother naming the teams. It'll just confuse the hell out of you. But it was a blowout game. This is what I have in front of me. A forward by the name of Richie Campo. A forward by the name of Richie Campo was kicked in the neck by an opposing defenseman by the name of Nate Plant. He must have been on the ice. I mean, I don't think he karate kicked him, you know.
Exactly.
Jackie Chan skate blade across the jugular. But this poor kid who got kicked, these are 18, 19-year-old kids.
Right.
The trainer rushed out. It was very Clint Malarchuk-like, from what I understand.
No.
Blood spraying this way, blood spraying that way. The trainer gets him into what do you call those things, an ambulance. A dozen stitches to heal the cut right near his jugular, F me running vein. The referee said he observed the player deliberately kicking, Campo is the victim's name again. He observed the player deliberately kicking Campo in the neck face area.
So what?
So there's a police investigation.
What do they do with the kid during? Because I imagine at least some people in the crowd saw that he did it intentionally.
You mean what did they do with the player who did the kicking?
Yeah, do you just let him skate
2-minute penalty?
around, or?
2-minute penalty? I'm kidding. I don't know. They probably pulled him off the ice immediately, I would imagine.
Wow.
So they're looking into it. It's a police matter now. The kid is expected to be okay, the kid who took the skate blade to the jugular. And the story goes on to say it's worth noting, there's crazy incidents on the ice every hockey season where someone just goes bananas. I mean, this is nothing wildly new. This has a little bit of a extra level to it.
Intentional, yes.
Yeah, a little bit of an extra level to this. But it says here, and I think this is what they're referencing, it says it's worth noting that an NHL player was once jailed for a dirty hit in 1988. And I believe what they're referencing there is Dino Ciccarelli. For any of you older hockey fans out there, I swear to God it was 88. Dino was still playing for the North Stars. They're playing the Maple Leafs in Toronto. And I think the player that Dino slashed in the head was named Luke Richardson. Someone can look this up. I thought it was Luke Richardson. Dino whacks him in the noggin with his hockey stick.
Was it Maurice Richard?
It is Luke
It was
Richardson.
not Maurice Richard.
No, it is Luke Richardson. I'm looking it up.
Dino went to jail that night.
Charged with assault in 1988.
Yes. Okay, that is what they're referencing.
Yeah, the story you're saying links to that article.
Oh, it does.
It says here, Ciccarelli charged with assault after hitting Luke Richardson with a stick includes, okay.
I remember watching that game. I was, I think, a junior in high school.
How's that even possible?
How is what possible?
For him to be charged with assault, isn't that just a part of the game? I understand this kid, trying to cut him.
If you watch the video.
You got to watch the video.
Yeah, there's just no doubt about it. He did it twice, actually.
Yeah.
Did Bertuzzi ever get charged?
Yes.
That's
what
he
did
thought.
as well.
When he collapsed that kid, Steve
Moore.
That was brutal.
Moore?
Too.
Yeah. Oh, my God. So there you go. There's our first. That's a hell of a first hockey story for this season, isn't it?
Yeah.
One guy tries to saw another guy's head off on the ice with his skate blade. And by the way, to each and every one of you, thank you. You didn't say a word about what I asked you not to talk about. That shows that you care about me and you love me, and I appreciate it.
A lot of people text in and wanted us to say a word.
I bet they did. I bet they did, Randy Shaver. All right, we got to get going here shortly. Here's something that I've wanted to bring up, and just time has run out, or this or that. I'm really excited. Well, for the Timberwolves season. Love the Timberwolves. You know that about me.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, they have a preseason game this morning at 11 o'clock. Playing in Abu Dhabi against the Dallas Mavericks.
Oh, really?
So if you got the day off, maybe you can look that up. Are you okay, Randy?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I swear to God, it's at 11 o'clock. What I've wanted to bring up for a while is that they're bringing back old Shep, Randy.
Bringing back old Shep.
The old logo, the original logo and the original uniforms.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
They're going to make another $1.
Well, sure, but I mean, I know it's a quick buck, but still, it's the blue and green old Wolves uniforms and the old logo with the panting dog that they gave him the nickname Shep. The players have been showing off the look on the internet. Don't you think that's a sharp look?
I love that look. Yeah,
yeah,
it's cool.
I do like that. Yeah,
especially Nas put his uniform on. Nas looks badass in anything. So 25 times this season, they're going to wear the old.
I like that.
White, blue, and green original uniforms. I got to buy one of these. At this point, I got every other style of Wolves uniform. Josh gave me the city edition from last year.
I think doesn't the hockey season start next Tuesday night?
Jesus balls.
I think it
crazy.
does. The night the Twins would play a home playoff game, I believe, is when the NHL season begins.
Wow. Yeah, I know. I've been seeing it more and more ads for it.
And the NBA is not that far behind that.
No. October 25th, I think, is the first game for the Timberwolves.
Looks like Wild would be Thursday, October 12th.
That's the first real game?
Yep.
Because they got a game tonight, right?
Yep.
Isn't that something? We're this close to the season opener, and Wapple's phone has not rung yet.
For what?
Bill Guerin.
Oh, I know.
Seeing if you're available.
It's disappointing,
what
really.
to serve Bill coffee? Or?
You son of a bitch.
I'm going to tape up sticks.
I can see you being pretty good at that.
Yeah, really.
Heck yeah.
I can see the guys on the roster being kind of mean to you at first.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Right. Until they find out that you can supply some medicinal help to players if they want it.
They'd have that hockey tape wrapped around your penis in no time.
You guys
Would they call him Whoppy, or what would the nickname be for him?
Well, if it's hockey, it's either E or at the end. So they'd probably call you Whopper.
No, Whopper. Oh, yeah, Whopper would be much better.
Wopski.
You're a Whopper.
Across the board, they either put some E's at the end or an ER, and they just go with it. So I think you'd be Whopper. All right, Randy, we got to scoot.
Okay.
We'll talk to you tomorrow. You and Brad can have.
Are we doing a dad fights tomorrow?
We are.
We are.
Yeah. We are.
Yeah.
Unless somebody catches COVID or something.
Gets married.
Yeah, gets married.
The last two reasons we've missed.
Thank you, Randy.
See you tomorrow.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show.
Our experienced and certified technicians at Standard Heating have been trusted to keep our fellow Minnesotans comfortable and confident for over 90 years. We're ready to do the same for you, providing comfort you deserve since 1930.
And now is a great time to join their team. Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is currently hiring experienced and entry-level HVAC technicians, dedicated to improving the work-life balance of their employees by providing benefits that include parental leave and 401k match. Apply today at standardheating.com.
We're all juggling life, a career, and trying to build a little bit of wealth. The Brown Ambition podcast with host Mandy and Tiffany the Budgetnista can help.
If I do even consider lending, I always ask myself, will this solve the problem? So I know you don't have your money for mortgage because you don't have a job. So what happens next month? Oh, I don't know. I'm going to have to think about the next month. Now, it's another thing if you're like, hey, Tiffany, I have $1,000 left to pay my car and then I'm car note free and I'll be able to pay you back, the 3 months I used to pay my car note. That solves the problem.
Brown Ambition.
Wherever you listen.
Well, polish up your dog schlong, because you're about to score. If your job is scoring, you'll never work a day in your life.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
I hear you. F me running. Here we go. It's 8:30. Joining us in studio at this time, adult actress Jordan Maxx. Hey, lady.
Hey there. How's it going?
Welcome back.
Well, we're doing all right. Yeah, welcome back to the studio. What's new with you?
Not too much. I'm headed out to Los Angeles and Las Vegas in a week or so to do some more filming.
Some more movies.
Yeah, really excited.
Nice.
Yes.
Las Vegas and Los Angeles.
How long are they going to keep you?
I'll just be out there for 10 days. 5 days in each city.
Man.
Do you get to have any recreational time, or they keep you pretty busy?
Oh, yeah. I always, especially this time of year, Halloween's my favorite holiday. So I like to schedule a couple days for fun. I'm going to, all the good stuff out in Los Angeles. Universal, Halloween Horror Nights, Not Scary Farm. Shaquille O'Neal has a Halloween.
Oh, really?
It's called Shacktoberfest. It's at
This sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's at the Queen Mary in Long Beach. It's like a little carnival and escape room and haunted maze and
Shacktober.
Shacktoberfest.
Toberfest.
It should be a good time. I'm looking forward to it.
I had forgotten that about you, that you're a big time Halloween enthusiast.
Yes.
So you're going to hit all the haunted celebrations
Oh,
going.
absolutely. I've had my decorations up since the 5th of July.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you really?
Yeah, I'm a big Halloween fan.
Oh, effing believable.
We were just talking, Nick and I were talking off air. We already hear commercials for Christmas.
Yes. Oh, I know. It's
They
crazy.
skipped right over. And I've had some
disrespect.
neighbors for a couple weeks. They've got their Halloween stuff going.
Yeah.
I was in Hobby Lobby the other day. Love Hobby Lobby.
Dude.
Obsessed with that place. But
I do not see you as a Hobby Lobby fan.
Dude, it's the decorations. I love
That's what I
decorating
mean.
for anything.
I
So
mean Michaels. I like Michaels.
yeah, anything for any kind of decorations. I love those kind of things. And so I was at Hobby Lobby just, snooping through the Halloween stuff, and they had all their Christmas stuff out already, and it was all like 50% off. I was like, oh, you can't do this to me. Why would you do this?
You've got nowhere else to put all of this stuff
I know.
at this point.
Actually, yeah, because me and my boyfriend just moved into a house together, he is not the happiest person in the world about the decorating.
Well,
yeah, I was just looking at a storage facility yesterday because of how much garbage we have decoration-wise.
Yeah.
So, Jordan Maxx, your place is covered in Halloween gear already. Ashley, same thing.
Yeah. Absolutely. I've got bats. I've got cobwebs. I've got ghosts.
Me and Nick have that just as a general rule in our disgusting household.
So do you have any ideas for what you're going to dress up as for Halloween?
Oh my gosh, I have 2 suitcases, 2 check-in luggage size suitcases full of costumes that I've just been collecting for the past few years.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I guess I could dress up as 10 different things.
Provocative,
Do
you have an all-time favorite, a provocative Halloween costume that you wore where you got the greatest reaction?
I have you guys remember Lisa Frank, right? From the 90s?
No. Lisa
Ashley?
Frank.
Sounds familiar.
Ashley was
would
one in the
know.
90s.
That's true.
Oh, yeah. You mean like the stickers and stuff?
Yeah,
like the
she
cool,
did like
the felt drawings and stuff?
Yeah, she did like stickers. She was like if you didn't have her school supplies in elementary school, you weren't.
I got to look this
You
up.
weren't it.
Oh,
It was
you were a loser for sure.
Yeah,
I'm going to look up Lisa Frank from the 90s is what I'm going to punch into.
She's just like this psychedelic artist. Everything's neon and tie-dye. And
Okay.
So anyways, I have a leopard bodysuit that is in the style of Lisa Frank. So that's
Hot
always
damn.
been a really popular
Hot
costume.
damn,
Dude, that's
Josh.
great.
Yeah.
I love that.
Skin tight, absolutely skin tight.
Skin tight cat suit. I've got the ears. I draw on the whiskers.
Okay.
What are you going to
Britney
be, Ash?
Spears once too?
I was Britney Spears last year.
Yeah.
Yes.
No Barbie this year? Or is that going to
I-
be too cliche? I'd imagine everybody's going to be Barbie.
Everybody's gonna be Barbie. I try to be Barbie every day of my life. So,
Ashley,
Halloween, whatever. No, yeah.
What are you going to do, Ashley? this
I have
year?
absolutely no clue. I think
I'm
I might be throwing a Halloween party this year too. So usually
I can't
I
go.
know.
At the new house.
Yeah.
Josh,
Exciting.
Josh doesn't even know when it is, but he's already declared that he can't
Yeah,
go.
I can't make
this is
it.
actually the first time I'm hearing about it. Unfortunately, I have another obligation that I'm going to try and get out of it. I just don't think I can.
Man, I heard you kill it in Halloween costumes.
He used to. I
been
don't
a
know
while.
I don't know what you've been doing lately, but well, yeah, everybody, you guys are pumped for Halloween. I'm happy for you.
Can't wait.
I'm happy for you.
Yeah, I love it as well. And I'm glad. I know I don't compare to you, Jordan, or you, Ashley, as far as how much you love it, but especially since it's your birthday, Ashley.
Yeah, that's a little extra
See,
layer
that's
to
what
it.
I've been telling everybody. I've been telling everybody, don't get all crazy about Halloween. October 31st is about Ashley's birthday.
Yes, let's
is
make
what
that
it's
clear.
about. So I don't remember now, Ashley. Have you often gone the provocative route as well when it comes to your Halloween costuming?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So do you have an all-time favorite where everyone at the party said, "Damn," or as Josh just said a minute ago, "Hot damn"?
Probably the one year I dressed up as a devil, and it wasn't really like I had the cute little horns, but I had a black tight corset on and really short shorts. It was basically like I was wearing lingerie. So that was a pretty big hit.
That was always something as a single guy, young man, that you'd look forward to at Halloween parties, is just everybody was provocative, it seemed like. Every woman was dressed in a way that you're like, I didn't know she ever dressed like that.
Boobs and butt.
That's right.
Boobs and butt.
So you walk in to these parties, Ashley and Jordan Maxx, and tell me if I'm wrong. Every dude at the party is drawn to you, and every other woman at the party hates your guts.
No. We don't do that girls hating girls
Okay,
thing.
see, I've seen that play out a few times.
Oh, no. We appreciate each other.
Well, that's nice.
We compliment each other now. We're
Because-
like, yo, girl, you look hot. No, girl, you look hot.
Well, that's nice to hear, because when I was a
There's
younger...
hotness for everybody.
Yes.
When I was a younger guy, whenever there was a Halloween party and a girl walked in wearing next to nothing, every other girl at the party said, "Who is that bitch?"
I will say, if I walked into a party and there was somebody that was wearing like the same exact costume as me and they looked better, I'd be like, who is she?
Yeah.
I need her to leave.
Well, there you go. Hey, Jordan Maxx, maybe Ashley and Wapple already told you this, but Dana is off getting hair restoration surgery this morning. Did they tell you that?
No way.
Yes.
No, good for him. That's great.
He's got a deal with a local company. He's running ads, and today is the day that they lay him smooth down on his back over there at the hair restoration barn, and they start pulling this and that loose from his back and putting it into his head, or whatever the hell they do over there.
They're restoring the hair on his back. Interesting.
Whatever they do, but that's why. If any listeners were wondering where the hell's Dana, this is his big day for hair and it makes me think. Did you ever get those fresh implants you were looking into, Jordan Maxx?
We do get a lot of texts on that.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I did have to push it back again. I am not to get too personal. I am having a few little health concerns that
understandable.
The doctors don't want me to go under anesthesia just yet until we sort that out some more. So
they want to make sure you can come back.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. What's the use of having great boobs if I can't be alive to show them off?
That's so true.
So
you'll look great if it's an open casket.
Exactly. So it's postponed, but it will be happening as soon as possible, as soon as I can. The money is just burning a hole in my bank account, waiting to be spent. So.
Well, maybe if you checked out on the operating table, you probably wouldn't mind if you became part of a Halloween decoration or something, right?
True.
Yeah.
I'd love that.
So what would you say, in your professional opinion, next to breast implants, what's the most common cosmetic surgery in the adult industry?
After breast implants, I definitely want to say like a Brazilian butt lift.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The new Lipo 360, you know, they transfer the fat from your belly and move it to your hips and your butt to give you a fuller, rounder
bottom.
Yeah. Are implants all you've considered? That's the only thing on your list?
No, I'm looking into getting the Brazilian butt lift, a BBL, but that's again that's taking a back seat to my, just overall health.
Sure. Yep. The BBL, baby.
A BBL, baby.
Mm-hmm.
I would say nose jobs are pretty popular as well.
We had a big discussion on this earlier when talking about Dana's situation and all these different procedures. There are some that, we were well aware of, but some we're not that familiar with. Okay, so the Brazilian butt lift, couple of nose jobs, sure.
Nose jobs, yeah.
This stuff's expensive. I mean,
it can get pretty pricey, yeah.
What about, we were talking about just some more common ones, like Botox. Is that a big one in the industry?
Oh, yeah, like everybody. Yeah, I get Botox. I get fillers in my lips.
Oh, fillers, sure.
Yeah. I would say, if you're considering, outpatient, quick treatments you can get done on your lunch break, Botox and fillers are definitely up there. Those are, so normalized.
Are we talking, hundreds of dollars? What does that go for?
Yeah, it depends on, on the med spa that you go to or the plastic surgeon's office you go to. Botox is usually $10 to $15 a unit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I would have expected more.
It's like swigging by and getting a half a tank of gas.
Yeah, exactly. A syringe of lip filler can be anywhere from $600 to $800, but
ooh, baby.
Oh.
But it
and
lasts.
That's not,
it lasts for a year. No,
oh, it does?
So your lips are nice and full for about a year before it starts dissolving.
I'm gonna do
it. Starts metabolizing. Oh my God, that would be great.
Yeah,
That would be a great...
Would it be a good look on me?
It'd be a good look on you.
Would you guys still be friends with me if I got lip filler?
I don't think you need them, Josh. You have pretty full lips.
Nice lips.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
That's going to get me through the day.
You know, my next big surgery that I really want is LASIK. Do you guys have any LASIK sponsors? Could I get in on that? No, I'm just kidding.
We could make a few phone calls.
Make a few phone calls.
I bet we could.
They need any commercials?
Yeah, who here has had LASIK?
I've
had LASIK.
Yeah, all of us have except for Nick.
Everyone but me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was life-changing for me.
Ugh, I bet.
I went after the procedure, I went home, took a nap, and I woke up and turned on my TV and started crying because it was the first time I didn't need glasses or anything like to see the TV.
Yeah. Was it one of those where like the military dad comes home and surprises his kid? Is that what made you start bawling?
Yeah, exactly.
Those get me.
I've heard a lot of those stories, Wapo. I didn't necessarily really need LASIK before I got it, so it wasn't that huge of a difference, but it still helped overall.
It was like going from those old TVs to your first HD TV.
Yeah.
And like seeing that high definition.
That's a
what
good
it was
comparison.
My eyes have given way in the last year. I have to wear reading glasses now. I don't know if I'd ever go through with the LASIK thing. I hear great stories about it from you folks and others. Maybe it'll get to me someday. Well, one more, well, maybe not just one more, but my next question to Jordan Maxx, our guest in studio, adult actress Jordan Maxx, about cosmetic surgeries in the adult industry.
Yeah, I could talk about this all day. It's one of my favorite topics.
It's interesting.
Are there male actors with medically enhanced tallywhackers?
Ooh.
Or are these boys...
Like, I've heard that rumor. I don't know anyone personally with an implant.
Mm-hmm.
I do know that a lot of them use performance-enhancing drugs.
Okay.
You know, the little blue pills and whatnot.
Does that make it bigger? Like temporarily, I mean?
Temporarily, I've heard, you know, the more blood flow.
Yep.
You know, that's...
Yuck.
That was that noise. I don't know what that was.
He said yuck.
Yeah.
You talked about excess blood flow to the...
Oh, yeah, to the member.
So you know about the boys might be popping some of the blue pills, but you don't know if any of them have ever had
had like a permanent surgery. No, but I've heard the rumors that it's a possibility. I just, if any of the male talent that I've worked with have had it done, then they must have had a really good surgeon because I haven't been able to tell.
Do you wear glasses in some of your videos?
Do I wear I wear contacts on the daily. I could wear glasses in my videos, but my vision is just so poor that I prefer the security of having my contacts.
Okay, the reason I ask is I thought this text...
Peripheral. Yeah, sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I thought this text may have meant that you wore glasses in some of your videos because they say F LASIK. I love watching Jordan with glasses on. Maybe.
Yeah, I do have some on my subscription subscription sites.
Okay,
where I wear glasses. You know,
like you're a
that's
naughty
for some people, right?
Like naughty secretary.
Oh no.
Librarian.
Oh.
Yep. Who? What else?
Well, the receptionist.
The receptionist. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, wait a minute. You said secretary already. Same thing.
Same thing.
Yeah. Here's a text message from Lake Street Handshake Jesus. He's maybe recommending me to look into a Brazilian butt lift to try to fix my trucker butt. I do have, but here's the thing, Jordan, you could comment on this because you've looked into things like this before. You got to have something to lift.
Yeah, there's nothing to lift.
That's
there.
fair.
I've got no ass. I'm the son of a trucker. A Wapple also, no ass.
Yeah, no ass. It'd be
So-
like
Hank
trying
Hill
to
situation.
Yeah, it'd be like trying to inject it in a 2x4.
What did you say, Jordan?
You got a Hank Hill situation going on.
Hey, this is really nice. Thank you so much. Beef Cannon Jesus says that I got them DSLs. Thank you.
What
This has been a great day for me. About my lips, I've got those DSLs. That's awesome.
Oh, no.
You guys smell that? It smells bad out here, too. I'm starting to think this whole town smells like doo-doo.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
All right, yes, absolutely. Adult movie star Jordan Maxx is with us. We've been talking about cosmetic surgeries a little bit. Cosmetic surgery, scary stuff to a guy like me, but it's become so common. We even branched off a little bit. I don't know, LASIK isn't considered a cosmetic surgery, right? No. We even talked about LASIK. Everyone in the room here but me has had LASIK. Now, Wapple mentioned that it was so miraculous when you got LASIK surgery. You were able to see things more clearly than you ever had before, that you got emotional.
Mm-hmm.
I got a text from I'll try anything 4 times Jesus. He also cried like a baby after he got LASIK, and he wants everyone to know that he's a big guy, a big, strong guy.
Oh, is he a big guy, a big, strong guy?
Yeah.
I'm a small, wimpy guy.
Yeah, a little bit. So there you go. All kinds of opportunities out there for you if you want to get cosmetic surgery. We covered some of it earlier. My damn, you can move your fat this way, make this bigger, make this smaller.
Is there one particular cosmetic surgery you'd never even consider, Jordan? Like one maybe you've heard horror stories about, or
Ooh.
What about, the down there surgery?
Oh, labiaplasty?
Labiaplasty? I'm not opposed to that, but
that would scare me.
Really? Yeah. I mean,
you ever see the videos of
have you? No, have you? Are there videos?
Well, here's the deal. Josh
The
and
removal.
Right.
Extra, yeah.
Years ago, there was a documentary on HBO or something, wasn't it, Josh?
Yes, I believe it was. Yeah, that sounds right.
He and I, not together, separately, we ended up watching this documentary about a couple that went in because the dude had a little too much cargo, and his girlfriend had a little too much for cargo downstairs. I don't exactly know what the dude's problem was.
I do.
Oh, you do?
Because I remember both of us having the same reactions with the before and after. Because I know we both thought, well, how bad could it be? Honestly, it's too bad you think you need surgery. How bad could it be? The guy had extra scrotal skin.
Oh, okay.
And then she had extra, whatever women have.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not my job to know.
No, it's not.
Whatever women have down there. And I remember thinking, this is ridiculous. I mean, they're going to have an operation on their intimate parts about something so minor. But when they showed what was removed, you could host a wedding underneath those tents.
Oh, wow. Holy cow. I'm looking at some, examples, and it's not ideal.
What's the name of this documentary? Do you remember?
It was so long ago,
Okay.
Jordan Maxx, I don't remember, but I'm sure, I shouldn't say I'm sure, but I think it's
Ashley,
what's the problem?
It's just bad, man.
It's on HBO Sax.
Yes,
okay.
not Max, HBO Sax.
Sax. Got it.
I think it's reasonable to assume that these days it's a fairly safe procedure, right? Okay.
Oh, definitely. It has to be, yeah.
But
I've heard it's like an outpatient. Like, they don't even put you fully under.
Really?
Oh, okay.
All I'm saying, and all Josh is saying, is it was quite frightening to see what was removed. I mean, they laid out these parts onto a table, and the cameras focused in, and I could not believe that anyone on earth would have that much extra gear swinging around between their legs, guy or a girl.
Like back in the olden days when they'd trade beaver pelts for something. That's what it looked like. So I totally understood afterwards, oh, that's why they did it. I was shocked that the human body could create that much extra skin.
Yes,
down there.
and they both seemed very happy and excited once it was over. It was just, it was a brand new thing to the both of us.
And how funny is that maybe funny is not the right word, but just strange that they ended up together, right? I mean,
yes.
It's not like they were on a dating site for people with extra skin on their privates. It just happened that way.
No, it was strange, very interesting.
Was it called The Perfect Vagina?
I have no idea.
Is that the name of the documentary?
On
The
Waffle's
documentary
mom.
that you found?
You just found a television show called what did you call it again?
The Perfect Vagina.
I don't think that's what it was called.
Okay.
I thought it was like a real sex type show, or it wasn't that, but it was something like that.
It was something to see. We'll just tell you that much. So I think the original question was if Jordan would ever consider such a thing, and you said sure, maybe.
Yeah, if it's necessary. I don't necessarily think it's necessary for me.
Right.
What do they call them? Designer vaginas? That's the trend.
Labiaplasty, designer vagina. Yeah.
Truly unbelievable.
I'm pretty happy with what I've got going down there.
That's all.
You're making a living from it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all that matters.
So maybe someday down the road, but now is not the time.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
I think did they let you keep what they removed from you? Because I think.
What would you even do with it?
Maybe make a wristwatch or something.
A wristwatch.
A band for a wristwatch.
Oh,
or
maybe a tonneau cover if you get a new pickup truck.
All right.
Look at my new tonneau cover. It's got pubes. That was gross. Why would you say that, Wop? Yuck. What's wrong with you?
It's pierced.
You're a monster. It's pierced.
It's pierced.
It's all me.
We didn't mean to gross you out this morning, Jordan Maxx.
Yeah, we got to treat our guests better.
No, I've got a stomach of steel. Nothing grosses me out.
Well,
I'm
you said
good.
earlier you know quite a bit about some of these different procedures, so.
Yeah, I've always been, well, had I not pursued the adult entertainment industry, I really wanted to go to school to be a nurse at a plastic surgeon's office or a med spa.
What drew you to that?
What drew me to that?
Yeah.
Well, in a past life, a few years back before I was in filming, I was an esthetician. I went to the Aveda Institute here in town, and I worked at a spa giving facials and doing waxing, and it just seemed like the next logical step to level up my career.
Mm-hmm.
So I was looking into nursing schools because, working in a plastic surgeon's office, I always loved the, TV shows like Nip Tuck, TV shows like Botched. I don't know. It's just a weird.
What was your
weird little? Yeah.
I don't know what the word is either.
Like a niche interest that I have.
There you go. There you go. Is it possible that you mentioned you're a Halloween fan? An interest in horror movies maybe pushed you towards?
Ooh, yes.
Right?
That as well. Yes, but it's funny. The horror movies, I don't really like the gore porn.
Yeah.
Like Saw or Hostel. I can't really get to like the old 80s slasher films, like, all the summer camp stuff.
Right.
Like it's kind of, like it's campy, it's kind of fun.
Yes.
It's a little over the top, but the more realistic stuff, I'm like, ugh, I prefer like paranormal, like, movies about ghosts.
I get it.
I'm with you on that one.
You know what I mean?
I totally know what you mean.
Yeah.
I bet you the answer is yes when I asked Jordan Maxx this question. Did you watch Sleepaway Camp?
Of course.
Yeah.
Classic.
Speaking of 80s, kind of campy,
yes,
corny, ridiculous horror movies from the 80s. All right, we got to get the hell out of here. Before we go, Jordan Maxx, tell folks where they can see you all over the internets and things like that.
I'm all over the internet. You can find all my links at jordanmax.com. That's Max with 2 X's.
Awesome. Thanks for coming by.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
It's been fun.
Thanks for the candor this morning.
Always.
And if we don't see you, you never know these days, but if we don't see you, have an awesome Halloween. Obviously, it's a big thing for you.
Yeah.
But we hope to squeeze you in before that. But just in case we don't.
Yeah, and have a good trip.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll definitely come back after my trip. We'll talk about it.
Okay, great. Make some movies for us, will you?
I would love to.
That's what your fans want.
I know.
We're just about an hour away from the 93X pre-sale happening today for the Foo Fighters. 10 a.m. is when that begins, goes through 10 p.m. with the code 93XFOOS, F-O-O-S, 93XFOOS. That's what you want to enter if you want to buy those tickets before anyone else. But we can get you some free ones if you text the word SHAPE to 651-989-9393. That's your shot to win tickets to see Foo Fighters, just announced July 28th at Target Field, furnished by Live Nation. Happy birthday to Birdie Not Burrito Jesus. Happy birthday to the beautiful daughter of Loose Stool Jesus. Have a great day at college, he says. I Don't Have a Cool Name Jesus sent in a shout out to his smoking hot lady for their 5th anniversary. And happy 38th to Hardwater Hooligan Jesus from your favorite big sister, Hot Byron Mama Jesus.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is currently hiring experienced and entry-level HVAC technicians. Apply today at standardheating.com.